What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Panel. Tonight we'll be talking about Lara Jordan, co-workers looking out, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and a whole bunch more. I got Jimmy on the side. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you, Malik?
Hey, man, I'm about to load up on some wine, and I'll be doing a lot better.
That's awesome, man. I should be opening up a bottle of wine too.
So, are you smoking anything tonight? You look like you're munching on something, Jimmy. What you got?
I am eating pistachios.
I love pistachios, man. They're like one of
Don't
my
you?
favorite
I
nuts.
love them peppered and salted. They are awesome.
Oh
I
yeah,
recommend it to everybody.
yes, and they're healthy too. And they're healthy.
Yes, they're very good for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Mm.
I've actually been eating a lot more healthier. Um, and I'm finding out a lot of things about our food and our products, but there are some, you could go to Whole Foods. There are some products that don't have pesticides on them, and that,
Okay.
you're going to pay a few more dollars. But um, when I went to the doctor told me some really crazy things
Oh Lord.
about what's in the supermarket.
Yes. Yes.
And I looked at him and I actually said, I know about pesticides and things, but what you're telling me is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I recommend to everybody stay away from broccoli because
Right.
there's a fungus that grows in the broccoli. When you spray the pesticides, that fungus can't leave.
So
And I'm like, he's telling me stuff, eat a lot of pistachios, eat a lot of almonds, eat a lot
uh,
of kale salads, stay away from a lot of wheat products. Do you
okay.
know that he told me 99% of the cereal on the shelves is actually hurting you? I was like, Special K. And he goes, absolutely the
What
worst.
about granola, Jimmy?
Granola is actually, guess what? That is, that's so funny. Granola is one of the only cereals you can make because yes, so if you're
That's what
eating
I eat.
granola, good for you. Good for
Mhm.
you. It's the milk that'll screw you up when you put the
I
milk
do
on
oat
it.
milk, Jimmy. I do oat milk.
Oh, that's fine. But
Sometimes I do
you
almond,
know,
but mostly oat.
yeah, oat milk is excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you got to stay away from vegetable oil and canola oil. You should only use avocado oil and olive oil and avocado oil.
What
Everything
about
else is no
coconut
good.
MCT oil?
You got to be careful of that too.
Really?
It's laced with one of the worst orange juices and drinks you can buy is from the Coors Brothers, which is controlled by Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
Is simple orange,
Oh
and
man, and I used to love their lemonade. Man, simply
yeah,
lemonade.
the lemonade was killer. But guess what? It's so damn bad for you. I could.
So
The
it is
doctor was
literally
flipping.
a killer.
Yeah,
It's literally a
you
killer.
know.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm really like, I just couldn't believe it. He's telling me stuff that it's mind boggling.
Jimmy, you got to start hitting some of the farmers markets, man.
Yes.
So I do a lot
And
of my
there's a lot
shopping from
out
them.
here in Florida. There
Yeah,
is a lot.
and that's how you avoid those pesticides and stuff because you go to like the
Yeah,
organic farmers. Yeah,
that's
I
right.
actually have a delivery service that delivers every week a nice bag of produce. The name of the company is Southside Produce, and
Wow, they
they'll
don't have
deliver it.
that. Yeah,
Huh?
there's different companies out here, but I never heard of that company. But I know a lot of people down here that order fresh produce.
Yeah, and they have it delivered to the house, right? My little
Unbelievable.
bag is $25 for like so if you're in Virginia, holla at Southside Produce. $25, you get enough to feed four people for a week. They
That's
give you fruit,
unbelievable.
vegetables, all that stuff. It's delicious. All the stuff is delicious. So tonight for
Wow,
dinner,
that's awesome.
and I'm digressing from what we're supposed to be talking about. But from tonight for dinner, I made some fresh zucchini because I got the zucchini from them with a nice red bell
Awesome.
pepper. Sauteed that in some olive oil with some rosemary, some Himalayan pink salt, and some
Are
crushed
you
pepper.
vegging out? Do you veg more? Are
I
you more
love
of a
vegetables. I love
You're a
vegetables. And
vegetarian?
no, no, no. Because alongside that, I made a pork tenderloin.
There you go, man. All right.
But I made that for my husband. He ate that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And a nice green salad. And that's what I ate. And it was delicious. Man, that zucchini
I
was so good.
actually had an organic steak, farm
Okay.
raised steak, and I had a
Okay.
kale salad tonight.
Nice, nice. Farm raised. I like farm raised. Definitely farm raised chickens too. Because I told y'all a while ago that they make chickens in 42 days. Purdue, Tyson's, all them.
Yeah,
It takes 42 days from egg to death for a chicken.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they juice them up. They hit them with so much steroids. It's unbelievable.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I like
It's
farm
really
raised.
bad. It's really terrible.
Farm raised, range free. That's what I like. That's
Yep,
what I
the
like.
range free. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. We on the same page.
Yeah,
But look, speaking about people who ain't on the same page, so you hear about Laura Pippen, Scottie
yeah,
Pippen's ex-wife?
yeah. I read briefly about it, and I don't know enough. I want you to fill me in because it was pretty diabolical.
So think about Scottie Pippen's wife, and I would guess that she's probably up in age.
Hmm.
She's no spring chicken. She's about to marry
Neither was
Michael
he.
Jordan's son.
She what?
About to marry Michael Jordan's son.
Okay.
Stop, Jimmy, speak him.
Now, this woman is, of course, not married to Pippen anymore.
No, no, she's divorced. And she's gonna change her last name to Jordan.
Now, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's kind of awkward, right? Because like her and her husband played on championship teams with Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
right? And then so it's gonna be weird because MJ, the dad, is probably gonna be at his son's wedding, and he's gonna be watching Lara Pippen marry his kid.
Which I'm sure he knows very well.
Yes.
They were
But
very
like
good
if they
friends.
have like if they're ever commentating together or you know what I'm saying, see each other at the basketball hall of fame is now they're going to be a problem.
Wow. I did not know. I know they were divorced. And I did hear something that she's marrying Mike. I thought she was marrying Michael Jordan, not
Which
Michael
would be
Jordan's
even
son.
more of a slap in the face, but it's still a man's kid. I mean, she's cute. I'll give it to her. She's a cute woman or a very beautiful woman. But yeah. Mm.
Wow, wow, wow.
No shame, Jimmy. No shame.
No, of course not. And the thing is, you're right. Michael Jordan's going to feel extremely
It's going to be
awkward.
awkward. Yeah,
It's going to be very awkward. That's his daughter-in-law now.
exactly. Exactly.
Meanwhile, these guys were out on the town. They traveled together when they played in New York. There actually was pictures of him, Pippen, and their wives
Mm.
out at dinner. And now, instead of being a good buddy and a good friend, it's his daughter-in-law.
I mean, but was he a bad guy? You can't help who you love.
Wow.
I mean, I don't feel
I
we
mean,
can blame Mike for this.
no, but
Mike's a grown man. I mean, what's he gonna tell him? You can't date this woman.
no, you can't. Listen, after the kids leave the house, you can't tell them to do anything.
Exactly.
What is he going to do? What is he going to tell your son? No, you can't do that.
Exactly.
That's not going to make much sense. You know what I mean?
It's a
So
very
how do you
awkward
think?
situation.
How do you think he actually feels about that? I mean,
I don't know. I would feel okay. So let's talk about if it were me. If it were me, I'd be slightly embarrassed.
man, if that was me,
Well,
if
I
I
don't
was
think they
Michael
really
Jordan,
got along that well in real life, did they?
well, I saw them out to dinner when they were playing in New York City, and I remember them taking pictures together. Michael Jordan's wife and Scottie Pippen and his wife. I mean, Michael Jordan didn't really get along with a lot of people. He was very, he was to himself. And guys, players at that level kind of become secretive and and standoffish a lot, even to the other players. Again, nobody's going to tell me that Michael Jordan didn't have a superiority complex. And thinking, yeah, I mean, look, Kobe Bryant did. Shaquille O'Neal said, "You ain't talking to
Anybody
this
that is
guy."
that great though needs to have a superiority. They have that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think this just makes it awkward and difficult. And I don't think they'll be spending many Thanksgivings together.
Mm. No, I don't know if
You
they'll
know
be
what I mean?
spending any. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. I don't see a family relation vibe going on. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either. Not between those two. So look,
No, definitely not.
in other news, the woman shot in the head during Takeoff's murder. So Takeoff, the Migos. Um,
Right?
Takeoff is from that group, the Migos. Says that she owes $200,000 in medical bills.
Yes,
That is a damn shame. And she
man.
go set up a GoFundMe for it. You know what I'm saying?
But
It's crazy how bad these medical bills get.
you know, Malik, you've been to Europe, you've been to Italy, right?
Yeah.
It's very strange. What you just said is
Well, I've never been
unbelievable
to
to me.
Italy, but I've been overseas. Yes, to Europe. Yeah.
Okay, in Italy, I was there and I lived there for almost 2 years, on and off. I went back to the United States and then I went back. I cut my hand one time. I cut my hand. I paid, I think, $7 for insurance. $7. And I got a phone call, and the gentleman says, "Mr. DeLuise, we'd like to come over and change your bandage." And I said, "What?" I said, "Yes, we want to make sure that your hand doesn't get infected, and we have some cream for you. And do you require painkillers? Are you in any pain?" And I went, and then he goes, "Mr. DeLuise, are you there?" And I said, "Excuse me, I'm a little behooved
Confused.
about what you're saying to me right now on the phone. You're coming to change my bandage in my hotel room, and
And
you're worried about me getting an infection?" Malik, when I was here, I had an infection on my hand. I had a cut, and the bacteria goes right into your hand right away.
oh,
They didn't even do nothing. I sat in the hospital for 45 minutes, and they discharged me. They didn't even put a bandage on. They put cream. I got a $980 hospital bill. I was there 45 minutes.
wow.
When I
Yeah.
got hurt in Chicago, I had a hernia. $4,500. I was in the hospital. I was getting checked by that MRI machine or that scan machine.
Mm-hmm.
I was there an hour and a half. I got a $4,800 hospital bill.
See.
But Europe, Italy, France, Germany, most of the states, especially Switzerland, all these countries, college is free, hospitalization is free. How does this girl run up a $200,000 hospital bill?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm sure they had to
How is this?
perform. But I mean, it's the doctor's fees, it's all of that. Because I'm sure if she was shot in the head, they had to perform some type of surgery, like maybe even brain surgery, and who knows how long she was out. But at the end of the day, they know that she was in a situation where she just happened to be someplace, and and she was shot in the head behind that. And I just don't understand how they're going to put this woman in debt for 200 grand, you know, and it's not. I don't believe that it's the Migos' responsibility to cover the bill, but I mean, take off
Or
Cardi.
was she married? Were they married?
No, she wasn't married to anybody. She just happened to be in the club.
And then nobody's responsible.
Exactly. But like people should kick it to the GoFundMe if you can. It's a sad, sad thing to see another young woman go into debt that much at the beginning of what she's starting. You know what I mean? It's just bad to see anybody go into debt
Wow.
that much that quickly. But in some good news, A 21-year-old dad. He's a single dad. He wakes up every night at midnight to walk to work every day. So his coworkers arranged a special surprise. And they surprised that young man with the 2006 Saturn. They got him a car, they gave him some keys,
Wow.
and that's a beautiful thing. It was the UPS people up in Michigan that did that for him. So shout out to you for
Unbelievable, right?
being great people.
That a shout out to them for sure. That I give them props for that because that is what we're supposed to be doing as humans, helping each other. You know,
Exactly. Exactly. It's crazy,
you
man.
can't make money today. It's very hard to make money to even buy a car.
Exactly. Well, I mean, with prices being so outrageous, like I was just talking to a neighbor of mine, and they're going to put up a chicken coop because they can't afford the eggs and the chicken costs anymore.
My God.
But this is what people are resorting to, you know. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because you do get organic eggs and the chickens, you know what they're fed, and so that's a healthy way to go anyway. But at the end of the day, like who really wants to clean up chicken poop?
Man,
So
nobody.
exactly.
But you know what? People are resorting to things that they really don't have a choice. There's a lot of people that are growing vegetables out here.
Yeah,
Um, Everything you go to the store and you buy a few little things and it's like $60, and
exactly.
it doesn't even fill out the tray of your, man. This country, this country's messed up, and we really don't care about the people. It's all about high energy profits. These corporations don't care what's in the Coca-Cola bottle. Drink it. It's killing you, but who gives a shit? We're making millions of dollars off of you morons. And
Exactly.
that's what it comes down to, you
And the
know?
sad part about it is, I mean, specifically, and I hate to pick on your state, but like when you say that people don't care about people, we talked about this earlier on Cypher Sisters, but like Governor DeSantis doesn't want young ladies talking about their periods in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like seriously, a lot
Yeah.
of times that's where
So,
we learn about it. But it's just a damn shame that it gets, that he is trying to control that much of these young children's lives where they can't even have a conversation. Where so if you're not supposed to talk, what happens if you come on? You can't ask your girlfriend for a tampon. Like
it's,
it's getting ridiculous.
everything is getting ridiculous. I see people, I saw a woman crying in Kohl's. I went to pay my Kohl's bill because you go in there once in a while, you buy some, housewares and stuff. And I go in there for a few things. And I seen this woman from Ohio yelling at a woman like it was her fault. The cashier. The cashiers what is she making? $15 an hour?
How you know she was from Ohio, Jimmy?
Because she said she was.
Okay, I'm just asking.
She's yelling at this woman, well, in Ohio, we don't do this and we don't act like that. And I actually said something to the woman. I said, don't you think life's hard enough that you need to yell at her? All she is trying to do is help you, you know? But I see a lot of people very frustrated, very angry, very upset. I still see a lot of job offers for people at $15 an hour to be a carpenter and move around and lug cement. And if you're paying a guy to do that work at $15 an hour, you're not getting any decent help. Nobody's going to work for that.
Fact.
And instead of bringing it in and making incentive and giving bonuses or trying to help out, people are concerned in this country about what they're making and their profits. So, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all these companies, they don't care about you. They don't care if you go to they don't care. Everything in this country is profit driven. And, my friend in Italy, his wife was sick and he works for Ducati. Not only his wife works for Ducati too, they both work for Ducati motorcycles in Italy.
Wait.
Have
So
what?
We may need to negotiate some deals, man. Ship it direct from the factory.
Well, listen to this. They go to work. There's breakfast served for them in the morning, so they have a good, healthy, hearty day to start the day. If they want a coffee break, they're allowed to take a coffee break if they want a second coffee. There's a gourmet chef in their kitchen. They never have to leave. They go right to the kitchen, and they go along the line. And what do you feel like having? What do you want? Gourmet cooked food, healthy foods.
Nice.
They're not charged for it. If they want to take a soda break or you want to take a cigarette break, go ahead. They let you live your life. Well, my friend's wife didn't feel good during her pregnancy. Do you know that Ducati sent her away to a sanctuary to make sure that she healed and got healthy, monitored her, and the boss, his boss, called up and said, "We're concerned about your wife.
Wow.
I want to make sure that she's okay. So we're going to bring her to a sanctuary, and we're going to have a nursery take care of your daughter while she's there." Can you imagine that? Now, where in this country, if you're pregnant and you don't feel good, well, you got to go to the hospital. You're going to have to pay your bills. And then they're going to have to monitor you, and then you're going to have to go to the doctor. And, well, the doctor's going to charge you for that.
See.
Okay? So this country is very detrimental to its people, and I don't care what says anything. This government doesn't care. It's all about profits, what they're making, how much money they're going to put in their pocket. All right, Italy and France and Germany might charge taxes. I had a woman argue with me over, I was talking to a gentleman over the counter, and she goes, "Do you know how much taxes they pay? They pay 30%. So I looked at her and I said, "Well, what do you think you pay?" We don't have none of the benefits they have at 30%, and we pay 38%.
Wow.
And that's not on our corporate tax. And we don't get nothing. We don't get anything.
That's a damn
It's
shame.
a disgrace. Absolutely.
It sounds like
I have a hospital bill sitting over me, and I had the collection agency call me up. "Well, can you pay anything?" I said, "Yeah, I sent you a thing, but you said the full amount. And I'll give you $300. $300? Oh, we can't. Then let it sit there on my credit, because I'm not paying almost $5,000 for an hour and a half." Do you know that average hospital room costs anywhere from $35,000 to $5,000?
And those places be just disgusting at times. Like, why am I paying so much for a shitty room? Excuse my language.
Well, guess what? I was getting bills from doctors that they say they were checking in on me.
Uh-huh.
And I got a $350 bill, $275, $175, $580, $620, $330. Another doctor, the same doctor, sent me $350. I'm calling every one of these doctors. When were you in my room?
Exactly.
Oh, you were asleep. We were monitoring your vitals.
Of course, I was asleep.
And I said, "Well, what is the nurse there for in the hospital?"
See.
"Oh, well, we have to check up on you. I'm a resident doctor there." Well, I didn't ask you to check on me, and you have no right charging me. Yeah, you have no right coming in my room and charging me $350 to look at my nose or look at an infection or see if my finger's okay, and then walk out of the room and get $350.
Exactly.
And I was like, "Well, you really have to." I said, "I'm not paying nothing. A matter of fact, I'm going to be suing you." Well, and then all of a sudden, Staten Island Hospital was put up on charges for overcharging people, sending in doctors for exactly what I was fighting for.
See.
And I said to myself, what is with this country? This country does not, it's all about the dollar. It's all about how much money you can put in your pocket.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit if you sell a job, don't sell a job. I just left an interview today, and the guy's sitting there, and he goes, "Well, it's all commission pay. Do I get a hospital?" "Oh, no, we can't give hospital benefits out. We send 1099s. That means you're an independent contractor."
See.
So you want me to drive 60 miles to go estimate a door that I might not get, and then I'm not going to be reimbursed even for my gas or my time? Yeah, that's the way it works. I said, "Sir, I'm well overqualified for this job. You need kids that don't know what they're doing and morons that'll actually work for you. Dutchie. Yeah,
Dutchie.
babe. All right. Dutch is
Yeah,
here.
looking all
Yes.
beautiful and everything.
Hey,
Well,
how
we're
you guys?
talking about hospital bills,
Yeah, we're
and we're
complaining.
talking about, yeah.
Uh, I don't understand
Here we go.
hospital bills. That sucks. Yeah,
Well,
hospital bills.
so we started with Takeoff. Takeoff's murder. A young lady was shot in the head during that time,
Yeah.
and so now she's got $200,000 in hospital bills. And the poor woman has to go get a GoFundMe and everything because she ain't got 200 grand. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Oh boy,
it's a shitty situation.
Yeah.
that is.
But this country is a shitty situation,
Hmm.
you know?
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Right.
I guess it sucks, and I, some of us are a little bit more privileged than others, and I think we have to look at that. Like myself, for instance, I don't really know what hospital bills look like. Um, I have not seen a hospital bill in over 20 something years. So I
Same.
couldn't tell you what that looks like. I don't even
Right.
really know what a copayment looks like. And that's because I'm covered by the US government. I'm
Right.
Department of Defense. So my family has no and I say that not as a bragging point. I say that as I want y'all to really understand how many other people out there like myself
Mhm.
that are not in touch, that are so out of touch because they don't have to worry about medical bills.
Right.
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 So since they don't have to worry about medical bills, it just kind of goes, you understand, over a lot of people's heads, and
Mhm.
they don't understand how detrimental it is to somebody that
Right.
has like I will never have to worry about for the rest of my life unless something, God forbid, something happens, if I have to, go in an ambulance. You understand what I'm saying? But I am
Right.
aware that it is extremely expensive
Yeah.
just for a ride in the ambulance to whatever is the closest medical facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Seventeen
want
hundred and fifty dollars worth.
Mm.
you see what I'm saying? Now imagine if you
The
have some sort
average ambulance bill is $1,750.
Wowza.
now imagine this. Imagine if you have some sort of really seriously debilitating medical condition and you have to take several trips throughout the year by emergency because
Yeah.
it's not always feasible that it's going to happen and somebody's like, oh shit, you're going to get sick, let me go get the car real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There might
Facts.
not be a vehicle, there might not be a person to care for you, so
Exactly.
you might have to actually be taken by ambulance more times than you actually would care to. And if you think throughout the year, you said, how much is it, Jimmy? Like 17?
50.
It averages $1,750. I got a bill in Chicago to take me 5.5 miles.
Mm.
So
That was the
imagine.
fire department. That was the fire department, and a regular ambulance is almost 2,500.
Jeez.
So imagine this. Even if it's just 4 times in a year's time, 12 months in a year, 365 days, and 4 of those 365 days, you've had to been taken to uh, the hospital by ambulance. So that's damn near 2, 4, 6,
Almost
8.
8 grand.
That's almost 8 grand
Yeah.
for something that was going to be out of
Well,
your control.
7. We added a couple of extra dollars for taxes and late fees.
Well, you have
Oh,
to, well, you do have to add that because it's not going to be just 1750.
Mm-mm.
It's 1750, and you know what I'm saying.
Taxes and late fees and all that other shit that piles up.
So when
oh
you
yeah.
think about that, and you think about the people that not just, I mean, let's even the ones that have insurance. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know what co-payments look like. I can't even
Nope.
imagine somebody's co-payment, uh, or let's just diabetics, for instance. Now I have family that have my family's also prior service or military, so their insurance also is a little bit different than just regular insurance. I can only imagine what civilian, the insulin for a
Right.
civilian or uh, any other diabetic medication for a civilian, I can only imagine what that costs. Or thyroid. My mother has thyroid issues, and her medicine is expensive. But
Yeah,
just for a straight up person that just has to come out of pocket, like, here's my credit card, there is no co-pay anything. I just have to outright pay. How are they surviving?
exactly. And that's why this young lady has a GoFundMe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She needs it.
yeah,
Do you
So
know the EpiPens? You know the EpiPens, those pins that they eject you when you're a
I have.
diabetic?
when you're
Uh,
allergic to something, yeah.
no, I have an
Yeah,
EpiPen for.
I had a urticaria outbreak, and the doctor gave me an EpiPen, and I got a bill of $1,100.
Jeez.
He
Now,
said the
like, did y'all
two
hear
hundred
that?
dollars was for what?
No, I was asking, did everybody hear that? Like, how much the
Yeah.
pin
An EpiPen
was?
is $900, and then it's $200 for him to administer it. And I said,
Now,
"Doctor, are you serious?"
Did he
And he
I
said,
administer
have
"Yeah,
a
it?
yeah,
Oh. I'd
so
have
I
been
have
like,
an
get that to me, Block.
I have an EpiPen in my bathroom now, right? The starter pin, and I have, because they give you, if you've never done it before, they actually give you the full version, so you know what you're doing before
oh yeah,
you
right,
stick yourself.
yes,
Yeah, I just got a new one 2 months ago because I have really bad allergies. I'm allergic to bees. I'm allergic to pretty much everything. I don't know how much that shit costs. Do you hear the
yeah, the
contrast?
government,
Jimmy
right,
Jimmy just told me that shit cost him nine and something, and I'm sitting here like, shit, it does. And I'm
Mm,
thinking to myself, oh, I just got one of those, and I couldn't tell you how much it costs. So there's a big disconnect. Do you
yeah.
understand the
yeah,
point that I'm driving at? There's a big
yeah, no,
disconnect with our health care and what people have to pay, and your job decides on who gets the better health care,
Yeah.
unless you can really afford a better
The
health
better
care.
healthcare. Yeah.
Whereas in other
yeah,
countries, they don't have to worry about healthcare, i.e., Italy, for one. When I was over there, public transportation, when it came to the bus, I didn't have to pay for. And I want to say my best friend, my other best friend, the Vicky, the one I was telling you about, that's from over there. I want to say healthcare, like if she had to go to the clinic or something like that, it wasn't something that she really had to come out of pocket for like your basic shit. Now surgery, I don't know how that works, but like your basic health care, I don't recall her having to pay for that.
Yeah, Jim was telling the story about that. He was saying how he was over there and the doctor said that he was gonna come check on him, change the dressings, and make sure that
Yeah,
he was
in
comfortable.
Italy,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually dumbfounded. I said, "Sir, are you serious? You're playing a joke?" He goes,
Wow.
"No, we're very serious. We're worried about you getting an infection and having a problem with your hand." And I was like, I was
Shit.
working in Florence. It was in Florence, and I cut my hand. I wasn't getting paid because I couldn't, but I was actually like a student, and
Mm.
I was working with sculptors and repair and cleaning, and then I was doing repair work on artwork, and actually Ed Tempera, which I studied for a long time, and I cut my hand. And I couldn't believe it. They came and changed my bandage. They gave me extra gauze if I happened to be back, and just to make sure I didn't get an infection.
See?
Now here, you would have to go to the hospital, and again, I was in the hospital. I had an infection on my hand. They couldn't do nothing because the bacteria was in. So they said, "Well, I'm going to give you antibiotics. I'll give you a prescription for antibiotics." I was there 45 minutes, Dutch. Emily, I was in the hospital for 45 minutes. They didn't even do nothing. All they did was look at my hand. No sense. They didn't even give me a cream. They just gave me a prescription. I got a bill of $940 something dollars.
That is
45 minutes.
crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But look,
I believe it.
yeah, yeah, that's some crazy shit. So y'all hear Nick Cannon running around talking about he should have had a baby with Christina Milian? How you think she feels about that shit? Oh, and shout out to Kamala. Thanks for
What
joining
up,
us tonight,
Lara?
sweetheart.
Hi, honey.
He, at this point, nobody of value wants a child with Nick Cannon. No,
Exactly. I'm
no
like,
one
why would he even
real.
say that?
Not to say that the women that he's had children with are not valuable to someone. They are somebody's child. They are somebody's mother, obviously. So they are of value. But when
Oh,
I say that,
definitely. Yeah.
again, let's use the term low hanging fruit. The
Yes.
fruit that's on the top part of the tree does not want any kids with Nick Cannon. Save that for the low hanging fruit on the tree.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was the nicest way that I could actually put that without.
And I think you spoke for all of us, so I'm not even gonna comment because I think that that's about appropriate. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. So Black China's also out there having interviews and saying that Tyga kicked her out of the house because he was liking Kylie when she was underage.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Mm.
This is actually this has old news. When she's doing new interviews
Okay, and so it's
now.
coming back out.
Yes. So a while ago, it came out. I would say like a couple years ago,
Okay.
and the whole. I think it was just her because she's really one of the few that would actually speak out on the Kardashians,
Uh,
and she kind of gives like the
air their
actual.
stuff out. Yeah.
Yeah, and see a lot of people kind of look at her until you hear her speak and until you actually pay attention. She's very well spoken. She's
Yeah.
extremely intelligent. Um, Black China is going through some things right now, and I don't think
The
it's bad. I
mama
think,
is nuts.
well, I'd have to commend her because she just removed her butt injections. She also
Okay.
removed her breast injections. She also removed the face fillers. She also
Who, her mother
removed
or Black China?
Black China.
Okay, so she's
She's
going back to
trying
being herself. That's beautiful.
she's getting into, yeah, so she's always been, though, when it came to speaking on the Kardashians and Rob and so forth, because she was one of the few that actually took them to court. She won in one and lost in another.
Okay.
um they were actively together, Tyga and Black China. They were living together. They already had a child together, and
Mm.
he absolutely did. I forgot what receipts she had, but she did have receipts. And yes, Kylie was underage. But a lot of people knew that Kylie was underage because they were publicly dating. But
Yeah.
nobody really said anything because it was kind of one of those, well, if Chris is okay with it, you know.
Yeah, but that doesn't send the right message to young ladies. I mean, Kylie's doing
No,
great,
definitely not.
but you know,
I
That's very
think,
true.
well, again, we're talking about somebody that pimped out their first daughter to actually gain the success that she has now. So what are you really going to expect from Kris Jenner?
yeah, yeah. Kim got it from a sex tape with Ray J, y'all.
I mean,
Shout out to
these
the
are
Ray
sex.
J.
And Ray J's actually spoke out last year about this sex tape business because he has a family now and he has daughters. And he said, hey, listen, this
They
whole
paid me
narrative
for
that
this.
was leaked, he was like, let's stop with the narrative. It was leaked. Let's be honest. And he showed the receipts. Look, we got together. Chris orchestrated it. She leaked it. I leaked it. Kim leaked it. This was planned. We
Well,
decided,
Ray J
and
got paid $400,000.
well, he admitted that. He did. He said,
Yeah,
we did this together. So this narrative,
right.
he's like, man, I got kids now. So we can't keep running this narrative
Yeah,
that, hey, Ray J leaked it. He said, that's not what happened. And if this ever comes back, I need my kids to know that this shit was mutual and you guys orchestrated this shit. Did daddy get paid?
yes,
Absolutely, he got paid. But
yeah,
did I, because I have daughters, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm out here violating women by
yes,
exposing our interactions. And,
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
that's that.
you know,
He's right about that.
That
yeah,
was
so
very classy of you, Ray J. That
yeah,
was.
so he did. So he put that out there recently. You guys can actually Google it, but yeah, he actually put it out there. He was really kind of pissed off. This was
I
when
think I
Kanye
do
started.
remember seeing something about that.
Yes, this was when Kanye started wigging out, and then
Yeah.
Kanye did admit that there was another video, and then that's
Mm.
when Ray J was like, okay, so listen, this is what it really is. And
Yeah.
he told on everybody. He was like, Chris did this, Kanye knew this, there's this exists, this doesn't exist, and I'm not gonna let y'all drag my name through the mud like I'm just this fucking creep weirdo dude that recorded and leaked the
Yeah.
video. In
Yeah.
fact, we all made a business deal behind closed doors that this would be good to, So when it comes to Chris and what she allows with her daughters, because she doesn't have any sons except for Rob, if you really want to call him a man, but that's not here nor there. That's completely opinionated. You look at that. I mean, well, shit, even as her husband's a girl, so everything that ties
Strange.
into. I was waiting for Jimmy to chime in because I seen a look on his face.
I'm sorry, strange shit, man.
How did the dad die again?
What?
How did was it cancer or was it
actual
suicide?
The Kardashian, Robert Kardashian, the father,
Yeah.
the one that handled the OJ trial. I
Yeah.
don't remember how he died.
Yeah.
I do not remember, but I do
He died
remember
of
that.
cancer.
Cancer.
Was it
Okay.
cancer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cancer,
I
okay.
remember that.
I couldn't
OJ
remember if it was cancer or suicide.
Yeah, they were.
No,
They
it
were
was
all.
cancer.
Yeah, no, I knew it wasn't suicide. I thought maybe he got shot or something else, but I do recall that even back then, OJ was a friend of theirs, and Nicole. They
Yeah.
were all friends. They all had a, they all
There
hung
was
out. I mean,
even
like,
speculation that Chloe was OJ's.
yes.
Oh yeah.
They hung out on boats. Now, I don't mean they just had pool parties. They actually swung together. They actually went on yachts and stuff together.
Yeah.
So now you have to look at. She has three Kardashian children, and I think she has 3 Jenner children. There's what is it?
Four Kardashian. Because Rob,
Chloe. So there's Rob, Kim, Chloe,
There's 5.
Courtney.
There's 5 altogether.
5 Kardashians?
Yeah,
no,
there's
4 children. There's 4 children.
No,
Kim,
there's
Courtney.
5.
No, there's 6 kids total.
No, I don't think he's counting the Jenners. I think he's talking about the Kardashians. I don't think he's talking Jenner.
There's 3 girls. There's 3 girls, 1 boy, and then there's 2 girls with Jenner.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. So yeah, there's 4 Kardashians.
We're counting the Kardashians versus how many she had with Jenner.
Jenner. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jenner had 4. Shit.
Yeah.
Because he had the boys too.
Yeah. So she didn't have any boys with him. She had Kylie Jenner and what's the other?
Kendall and Kylie.
Kendall and Kylie. Are those the only 2 Jenners? I could have sworn there was a third Jenner.
I'm so embarrassed that I know this shit. I am so embarrassed. I should not even be chiming into this fucking conversation. I am embarrassed.
How many?
Yes,
there's 4. There's 4 with the Kardashian father, and there's 2 with the Jenner father. I mean, the Jenner mother. Jenner.
There's 4 because it's Courtney,
Jenner.
Chloe, Kim, and Rob, and then Kendall and Kylie.
And then the 2 girls. But do I call him? But what do I call him? What do you call him? The father? So he's still the father?
Everybody's calling them Kardashians. I mean,
who the hell is Brody?
Kardashians.
Wait, who's Brody Jenner? So
that's his son. He's got 2 other. I told you he has 2 boys and 2 girls. He had 2 sons with the first wife.
Yeah, but the 2 boys were not with Kris Jenner.
Yes, they were with the first wife. They were with the first wife who was with him when he won the
first wife, right?
Yep. There's Kendall, Kim, Chloe, Courtney, Rob.
And Kylie.
And Kylie. I don't know why they left Kylie out. Yeah.
She may have been underage. No, I'm sorry.
But what do we call him, though? Him or her? What are you? I'm confused. Is he?
Jenner?
Yeah.
Jenner's
Mama Jenner.
His name is Caitlyn. Her name is Caitlyn Jenner.
But here's what's crazy, though. Ever since that whole thing with him, they don't invite her or him or whatever to anything.
No,
they don't invite him. You never see him. It was. I think they screwed him.
Because he had his 5 minutes in fame, and it's over.
Oh, you're talking about Caitlyn. You're talking about Caitlyn. Don't get invited. Yes, doesn't get invited.
Yeah, she had her 15 minutes of fame, and she really didn't contribute to the show at all. Did she?
I don't think it had. I think that Chris had something to do with that whole transition, and I think he got stuck with it. I think no different than the whole, the sex tape and the.
Wait. Let's backtrack. Are you saying now all of what we say here is allegedly and opinions of our own?
Absolutely Absolutely.
However,
I
are
think
you saying that that Chris convinced Caitlyn to change her sex and then dump the bitch?
I absolutely, because it came. The man is a fucking Olympian. The
Yeah.
man has been an Olympian for who changes their gender at 50 or at 50? You went through 40 fucking 50 fucking years, and all of
Four
a sudden
kids.
decided I don't want a
Four
dick anymore,
kids.
and
Four
four
kids.
kids, and now you don't want a penis anymore. Get the fuck out of here. No, I
And
refuse
he
to
was
believe.
in, and I watched a documentary on Netflix about him or her, and she was very happy with her first wife in the beginning.
Again,
Mm, mm-mm.
maybe if you
Wow.
maybe in your 30s, because you can finally be yourself, because it's not an unknown thing that some men are not happy and they
And
live
it's
a
not
certain
like
way.
she didn't have the money.
So my point is, you go for hold on, let's see how old Caitlyn Jenner is. I'm gonna see. Let's do the math.
Wow. And
How
yeah,
old
you
is Bruce
never
Jenner?
see. Well, see, I stopped watching the show a long time ago, so I
Now
don't know
listen
if
to
it
this.
still comes on.
I'm waiting on Jimmy to come back because he's
Mm,
spinning. He'll be back.
he'll be back.
I want you to think about this. Bruce Jenner is 73 years old. Caitlyn Jenner is 73 years old. Caitlyn Jenner has not been Caitlyn for 20 fucking years. This has not been over the last 20 years that that's been a woman. So,
No,
at,
it's been like
so,
7.
so you tell me, at that age, what could possibly convince? Oh, there goes Jimmy right there. I'm gonna run it back.
Yeah, yeah, he coming, he coming. Keep going, keep going, keep going. What could
So
possibly convince somebody to do that? You're right.
think just think
Damn.
about it. When you
No, no,
think
you're
about
right, you're right, you're right. And
at
then he had to
70,
explain that to his kids, his sons.
and then he goes, and mind you, he does all of this when he's a part of that whole Kardashian and Jenner
Yeah, 'cause they were
TV.
still inviting her to shit
And
in the
then once it
beginning.
was all in the beginning, now once it was all done and took place, mind you, Caitlyn has also commented on the fact that she has not been invited. She was not invited to the wedding, this last wedding that just happened with Courtney.
Oh,
Other things that have happened, she has definitely been vocal about not being invited. So I want you to
oh.
think about, and nobody's paying attention to that because the transgender stigma. So everybody, well, you're already trans, so we're what you're talking about.
I
But
mean,
if
yeah,
you
you won
oh,
Woman of the Year.
and so, right, so people are looking at that because that's a shitty thing. So they're already not really, yeah, whatever. When
Fucking with
you're
her that much. Yeah.
but when you go back and you look at this man was an Olympian for over 50. Like, let's see, he was, how long was he
He's
an
still
Olympian?
an Olympian. Shit.
Yes, so for over
Well,
50
she
years, 73. He's 73.
is.
She's 73, right? You were an Olympian for the majority of your life.
On the
So you have
Wheaties
things,
box.
you had things to be proud of. You have children. You
He
even
just
had
a
children with
nasty
your
baby.
second. So you've
Like,
been with more than one woman. Not only have you been with more than one woman, you've cultivated children with more than one woman. So if you didn't like it the first time, you damn sure wouldn't tried it for the long haul the second time. And
yeah,
then
because
all of
he was
a
married to
sudden,
her for a very long time because those girls were teenagers.
so that being said, at what point did you decide to become trans and just not dress up as a woman? Because you don't have a history of dressing up, cross dressing. You don't have
Nobody
any.
saw that shit. There's
There
no
is
picture
no,
out of you in the 70s in a dress.
and by now it would have come out because scandal. It was,
Yeah.
especially when the Kardashian, Jenner show, whatever. There would
Yeah.
have been a scandal. So it
Yeah.
never came out
Mm,
of
mm,
you cross dressing. It was never anything of you liking men.
mm, mm,
Now,
mm.
now, here's what, again, I want you to look at what they date. All the Kardashian and Jenners date black people, people of color, right? With the
Mhm.
exception of, and I
Who
think
I
Kendall,
respect the most, I gotta say. I always liked Courtney the most. I thought she
because
was the
Courtney's always
prettiest.
been herself. Courtney's
Yeah,
never
I
really.
always thought she was the most beautiful out of all of them. So yeah, I fucked with Courtney the long way.
So think about this. Not only does all of this happen, and now he dates black men. She, Caitlyn, And you mean to tell me that ain't cultivated by Kris Jenner?
Wait. Who's dating a black man?
Caitlyn dates black men.
What black man is dating Caitlyn? Is
Caitlyn
it
Jenner's.
any? Ooh, shit, she got the tea. She got the tea. She got the tea. Up there's established here. What up?
What's going on? Hey, Dutch.
Hey, don't you see that that is a black man with Caitlyn, honey?
Oh, a black man getting it in with Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. But my point is that shit was cultivated.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you been listening?
Yeah.
So you already following. So there's no way I'm gonna believe that at that age, because most people, even if you did like something and now it's okay, it's cool. Old people still
Fuck
get
it. Why should I even go?
right.
Die.
Nobody's got time for all them type of changes. You're already too close to death. You understand what I'm saying?
And
So
she
nobody's
could have
got
died on that table. That was risky anyway, as old as she was.
right.
Who is she?
So
Who you talking about? Bruce?
about
Kris
Caitlyn.
Jenner.
Bruce, Caitlyn.
Bruce? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce?
Oh, okay,
So
Bruce.
I refuse to believe that this man just decided, you know what?
Shit.
Fuck these balls. I think I wanna vag now. You know what I'm saying?
What's
There's
up,
no
Sophia?
Hey Sophia. There's
Well, you know he got that from Chris, right? She girlfriend
well
him to
that
death.
well that was but I don't think it was just that. I think Kris did the same thing that she did with Kim, the same thing she did with all her daughters. She cultivated who they dated. She made sure that they had people of color that they bred with. And I use the right
How about
term. I
this
mentioned
though? Did you hear what Ray
bred.
J said on Clubhouse to Whack? Ray J said she was directing.
So that means you missed the first half of what I said.
Yeah.
So I just went when Ray J was like, hey, enough of this making me look like I'm some weird pervert, not in
Right.
Yeah.
look, she did this, we agreed to this, I got paid this, we all were a part of this, and you can't keep putting me out here like I'm some pervert and then leak the shit when this was a business
This
deal.
is not what happened.
So yeah, he had finally got tired of it because he has a daughter now, he has kids now, so a lot of shit is being aired out. So that's when I came up with what I was saying. There's no way, ain't no way in hell, a man that is, again, let me repeat, he is 73 years old to date. He has not even been trans for 10 years yet. So nobody, you mean to tell me at 60 something years old, you made a decision, you already comfortable, you've already been an Olympian, you done had, excuse my French, y'all, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, you done had pussy twice and you liked it. You done had women and you've had children, multiple children. So you was doing it enough to like it enough for these women to copulate for y'all to have an entire big ass family. You understand? So you want me to believe that you just woke the fuck up and was like, you know what?
I want to wear dresses forever.
No. What happened
Really
was
got like size D today. Ooh, and I like that Fenty. That motherfucker didn't wake up.
Chris deviled his ass. Chris beat him into a female. You hear me? She beat him into a female emotionally.
You think she beat
Psycho.
him?
No,
I
not
think
physically.
I think she coerced it, and I think she also, the same way she directed that porno, I think she directed him on what would be good for business. I think Chris does things of what would be good for business for the family.
Yeah, because they were kind of sinking around that time anyway.
Yes.
She ain't nothing but
she's a pimp.
Not even that, a black. She's a white. Damn, I forgot the name of that, man. Go ahead. She a trip, man.
What I think. And
she
now
pimping
that
everybody around.
And now that he no longer served a purpose, very shortly after that, they stopped inviting him to shit because guess what? It doesn't really look good for our image. I mean, you're still attached to us, but you can't sit here. You know what I mean? And they don't. And he was like, they don't invite me to shit. They don't. It is fucked up. You know. So now, I do think she makes decisions based on what's good for business for the family. And even if you got to go put these size double D's on and we go get your Fenty bra, here's probably what she pitched to him. Listen, you're old. You're old as fuck already. You've already been an Olympian most of your life. What do you care what people think about you? It was some way there was a fucking conversation.
We ain't fucking.
Listen, She just had that teacup from Get Out, and she stirred that motherfucking ding ding, and he was like, "Yes, I want titties now," and that's what the
Yeah.
fuck happened.
I
Because
mean, it's
there's no,
people don't realize your spouse can informate you. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Especially if you love and care for them, they can be. If you let them, now let me say that. If you let them,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
they will psychologically beat you. Infamate. You'll be infamate, man, for real.
But we're all Virgos, so that shit ain't happening over here.
Nah, I tell my old lady, I'll be a bum on the street before you do that.
Fuck yeah.
I'll be with
But yeah.
nobody. Fuck it.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
only have so much patience.
So I got a couple other things to talk about, but I wanted to talk about something that Hattie McDaniel said, right? And I want to get y'all's opinion on this. So she said, I'd rather get paid $700 a week to play a maid than $7 a month to be a maid after she won the Oscars.
See,
What
this is
was
what I
she?
don't like. I'll get sick and fucking tired of people talking down on blue collar workers. How about that? Plumbers, electricians,
No,
maids,
no,
like
but they
they.
came for her first. They came for her
Okay,
because they were mad because she portrayed, because she's from Gone with the Wind, right? She was the first black or black
okay.
person, black American to win an Oscar. And so because she played that maid in Gone with the Wind, which is a movie I have to admit, I kind of love that movie. But Gone with the Wind cuz I like well, we'll get back to that. But yeah, so she played a maid, and people were downing her because she won the Oscar for playing the maid,
How
and
about
that's
this?
came
It was
back to
our
her face.
people. It's our people doing that, right?
Yeah, of
Talking about
course
you as a maid. Like that's fuck. Like we do it to ourselves, and it like the B Simone shit. She talking down on blue collar workers, and it's like you
She
talk about
is.
your grandpa.
Simone should not talk down on anybody for a lot of reasons until she learns how to actually write some shit without plagiarizing somebody else's shit. She should sit the
oh
fuck
shit.
in the
Right.
bitch ass.
Gain of talent. But $700 to play
Right.
a maid and $700 to be a maid ain't
No,
no equity in playing a maid. You actually getting a check and some when you're working. I mean, you're not guaranteed another maid job. So where's the equity in that? I don't get it.
I mean, well, it was 700 versus 7. That's a
Oh,
huge difference.
700,000.
No, $700
Mm-hmm.
versus $7.
Oh,
I'm
seven
lost
bucks an
now.
hour.
The
Also,
number.
okay,
All
7 bucks.
right, so she said because they came for her for playing a
I was gonna
maid,
say,
they were like, "You
give me
shouldn't
the
have done that."
catalyst. Give me the catalyst.
So she says, I'd rather get paid $700 a week for playing a maid than get paid $7 for being a maid.
Okay.
I mean, that's a stunt. That's a flex on your people, right? That's all that is a flex on your people. Trying to
But they
say,
came for
well,
her first.
oh, they came for her first, trying to say she was a maid, right? Okay,
Yeah, they was
Yeah.
like,
right.
"Oh, I can't believe you would play a maid on TV." Da 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 da.
Yeah, but don't come.
Basically,
What about the maids who spent money that they got from being a maid to come see your movie? You gonna
Well,
shit
she
on them?
wasn't complaining about them. She was saying, "Hey, they gonna pay me $700 to play like I'm one, and y'all all coming for me, grassroots folks. So why you coming for me? I'm
so
getting more money. I can do more."
I guess what he's saying is she could have said the same shit without degrading that
Right,
position
right,
itself.
right,
Got it.
right,
That there
right.
was a way she could have said that without putting down, and I can understand that because coming from a Hispanic and Black community, right? And I'm speaking for everybody on this panel. Those were jobs that were available to us.
Yes.
Um, housekeeping work, custodial work. My aunt definitely was a custodian on base. She cleaned out a lot of churches, office buildings, or whatever, and I tagged along to help. I have definitely done housekeeping in a hotel. Um, and I really can't say that I minded it because nobody was fucking with me, and I had my own floor. I made decent money. You know, you make a decision on what you want to do. But there's this perception that everybody is supposed to have this corporate job or everybody's supposed to have this
And that's
prestigious.
not. Yeah.
First of
IG.
all, well, yeah, well, not even just IG society, because if you're not in an office, if you're a woman and you don't have an office job where you dress up, then you're just regular. If you're a man, and you don't have a tie and a suit and a low haircut, you know, and you do manual labor, you're regular. But what people don't
Fuck that.
understand
Let me tell
is
you something. Mechanics get paid damn near 100 and some change an hour.
Come
That
on,
tell
ain't
them
no
about the
Malika.
trash man.
regular
Come
Tell them
living.
on,
about the trash
Malika.
man.
Huh?
My brother, what happened? I was gonna say, yeah,
Would you,
tell them about the trash man, mechanics, trash man. My brother worked trash.
trashmen,
Listen,
electricians. This
Plumbers
electrician
make
came
50.
to my house.
Plumbers make
He was
50K starting off first year.
mm,
So who
mm,
who who doing that off the rip off the year first year? So they be killing. But what I learned, I was a janitor. I used to janitor at Volvo headquarters, and what I learned was the people in the cubicles looking down on the janitors. The
why?
people in the because you're a janitor. But catch this, the people
because
in the
you're cleaning
cubicles
up
look down on the
after them.
janitors, right? But the people above the people in the cubicles look down on them, and then the dude who got his own office with a bathroom in it, he looking down on them.
Yeah. Everybody
So it's
looking down
like,
on everybody. But the
right.
problem is, no, see, but everybody in cubicles, because I sometimes live in the cubicle world, don't look down on folks. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, no, not all
Instead
of
of
them,
the
not all
lady
of them.
coming to come get my trash, I take it to her if I see her a few cubes up, you know? Don't even bother coming up in here. You got the bag, I can put it in. That's
And
not a
then you
big
got them
deal.
ones who will rush and be like, hey, they'll go out their way to keep your air clean, not to make your job harder. They speak to you, and I
Exactly.
respect the person
Exactly.
that talked to the janitor, same
Yeah,
way he
you
talked to the
supposed to
boss.
say good morning.
Right.
You're supposed to say good
Wait,
morning and good night to every fucking body because one day you may need them. You don't know who you gonna need at any given time because people in the community may be doing different things. He may be the janitor, but he may be
Hmm.
high up in the fucking community. You know what
so
I'm
And
let me
saying?
tell you,
my
let me tell you something. If
You
you
never
work for the
know.
CIA, if you worked for the CIA, right, and I'm gonna make some shit make sense to you. They don't want you to go undercover as the motherfucker working in the cubicle. They want you to work undercover as the nigga that's the janitor. You want me to tell you
Yep.
why? First of all,
Because ain't
that
nobody
motherfucker,
watching you.
well, that's the motherfucker that's gonna know more about you than anybody else. They're
That
there after hours. They know what the fuck is in your trash. They know what the fuck you done left up on your computer. They hear the little conversations because you're not paying attention when they don't walk by. That's who the CIA would have, hey, we need you to do this undercover job. You understand? Because here's what people need to understand. Just because I'm not in the office, that doesn't mean I get paid less than you either. See, that's also a misperception that because you're not in the office, you get paid less. My brother had to take I don't know how many shots before he became it did sanitation. And because of this
tetanus
conversation is
shot
why
and all that.
yep. Because
Yeah.
of this conversation is why you don't say janitor no more, and why you don't say trash man. That's why you say sanitation. That's why you say custodial.
Custodial.
Um, or,
Right.
or
yeah, custodian.
because people were looking down just off of the name of shit, just off of the name. That's why you don't say maid. You say
See, but
housekeeping.
how
It was
see, but how about
give
this?
people dignity about their work.
Each one of them industries are billion-dollar industries.
Fact.
Trash,
They are.
recycling,
They are.
maids, janitor. Because any corporate multi-million dollar business I notice, they gotta have janitors, they gotta have maids. They run
They
hand to
have
hand.
all that shit. Because
It's a
ain't
Yeah.
billion
nobody
dollar
gonna do it.
business.
And let's be honest, people at work are nasty.
Oh,
Well, let me tell
Malika,
you something.
Malika.
How do you look down on a job that people are so lazy that you require my services? So you can't look down on me being a housekeeper because you're paying me. You need me. So which one of us really should be looking down on the other?
How
Because
about
I up after.
why are you looking down on me and I probably own my own company and this is a contract that I
Well,
got.
they be knowing like I went to school, I got this architectural degree or whatever it is, and then they know he's here working for this company as a janitor. They gonna look, but my grandpa raised 6, 7 kids. He was a maintenance worker on a golf course. Bought a house, raised
Yeah.
kids, got cars.
Yeah.
What? What's the problem? Even
But
nowadays,
you
the actual plumber he has a hard time dating because they say you a plumber. They be like, woman, I make 51 starting off. What are you talking about? Who else doing that?
Again,
wait a minute.
the guy that
Listen.
came into my house was like 24 years old. He was an electrician. He owned his own business.
Mm.
This kid was making 150 plus a year. He was asking me about my expensive shit. He noticed my Hermes bracelet right off the bat.
Oh, you said it right too. Goodness gracious.
So and I'm gonna explain
It's
something.
not Hermes.
It's not her mess.
We have more entrepreneurship now too, and we have
Yes.
people now. that are taking advantage of stuff that they didn't from our generation. They have more programs. They have even with the welfare system, because I don't know what the hell they calling it nowadays. They have, if you take advantage, that's why when people say, oh, well, she's on welfare. So the fuck what? Do y'all know how many programs? People are fucked up because they choose to be fucked up. People are not looking into programs that are free. You understand what I'm saying?
On welfare,
To
you go to school for free.
But who pays
just
for
like
welfare?
I
Your
mean,
tax dollars, right?
Yeah,
my money pays
So
for it.
it's
Your money pays for it.
so if I use it, that's my money.
it's my money.
As long as I'm paying taxes, yeah, this is my money. Yeah.
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 So let's say truck drivers.
Man, they make a grip. And if they own their own truck, man, that's 250,
Listen,
300, 400 grand a year, easy
and
money.
most truck drivers look grungy. You ain't
As
seeing no truck
fuck.
driver hopping out of his shit looking fresh to death. That motherfucker been driving all day. He's tired. He's been eating on the road. You understand what
See,
I'm saying?
but a
He's
lot of women selfish. They don't want
Nah,
him because
I
he on the
think that
road
shit
too much.
sexy because
He
you
on the
on the
road too
road.
much.
That means you ain't bothering me.
well,
But they would want to
here's the
do.
thing. I know men that'll take their woman on the road with them if they can. You know, so
I would.
my
I'd get my
point.
CDL.
Just because he's first of all, and let me go on and make this clear for y'all that are looking for lawyers and doctors and dentists and shit. Before y'all get all
That are in
excited,
debt from school loans.
I was gonna say you might want to wait after his first 5 years of getting the fuck out of school because he's not gonna have a fucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. So this
Unless it
perception,
comes from money.
you know, unless he already comes from money and unless he's already got a practice or he's already paid off that school debt, you got to stop glorifying these names for jobs. You got to stop glorifying. You know, I hear people talk so bad about fast food workers. Do you can you imagine what it's like for
Well,
fast?
The only time I talk bad about them is when they don't get my shit right.
let me say
But
this. I talk bad about them because we got. I'm sorry. I love my black women, but black women give us some of the worst customer service ever.
What?
Yeah,
that
at fast
so
food.
I almost dropped my glass.
that's true. You better add the post office too and DMV when you do
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
all
add
of
them
them.
three.
I get good service because I always go up there with a smile. They see me smiling through the camera
I
thing.
say Chick-fil-A need to sell their management plan to different companies because how they handle their shit is just superb. They need to sell that.
But now in retrospect, let me say this. This is a very true statement. But we don't know what the fuck Keisha did before she got to work and what kind of bullshit she had to put up with to come to this motherfucking $7 an hour job for a motherfucker to talk to her stupid all day.
Hey,
Just
in
keep that in
McDonald's they
mind.
paying 15.
But whatever they're paying, you already shitty job that you don't want to be at because this was
That's
not
true.
what I had planned for me in my future. I didn't
Yeah,
plan on flipping fucking burgers at 25.
But Dutch,
I
you're
didn't
not
plan.
gonna take it out on the public though, Dutch.
you
No,
shouldn't.
I'm not gonna take it out on the public. However, prime
You
example.
shouldn't.
I was in Whole Foods, right? So and again, I say shit and I say what I mean and I mean what I say. If you're offended, you be all right. I Asian culture tends to assume that you're going to allow them to jump in front of you. They're always very
Oh hell
assumptive.
no. Oh hell no.
Mm.
But
Oh hell no.
just
That's
pay
because you
attention.
don't be wearing your resting bitch face all the time. See, I wear that in public.
Well, see,
Yeah.
so hear
No, no,
me
no.
out.
Sophia Smith, not all black women. Not,
No, not all.
but I'm talking to the majority, not the exception.
So
Wow.
with with Asian culture, a lot of times you will go. They're very polite. So Asians, they read you off of your face. So if you have a nice face and you're very happy, you must be nice. And if you look like this and then you must be an asshole. And that's pretty much how they dictate how they deal with you. This is coming from me living in different countries, right? Now, here's what I need you to understand. They what I call soft
Facts.
extortion. Soft extortion is where you politely, because I'm nice and I'm docile,
Nope.
so they can sell you whatever the fuck they're gonna sell, and for top dollar. If you're in line and you have a little bit more than them, they're gonna go ahead. It's
No, no, back there.
That's
fine.
why you gotta know where to wear that resting bitch face. Like, see,
So
in the
no,
beach, you can wear your happy face. At Whole
So, but
Foods, resting bitch.
I hope that happened
so
to me. I swear to
I
God.
mean, well, see, I always have a
What you
resting
gonna
bitch
trip
face
the
because I
old
was
lady?
born.
No, I'm gonna cuss
What
out.
happened was this particular day, it was a lady. She was an Asian lady. She had a smile on her face, and it was my cashier that wasn't having this shit. And my cashier was like, "Oh God, here they come with this shit," because she wanted. She already saw that the lady wanted to jump in front of me. Well, I was like, "No." I did one of his. I was like, "Oh nah." I don't know what this lady was going through before this shit happened, and you never see them act like this in public because they're very particular. The lady, and this is at the Whole Foods by your house. The lady screamed in the middle of the store. All she had was flowers. I had groceries and shit. She flipped the fuck out, and I mean, I didn't give a fuck. But my point was, something had happened. You
I'm sorry to
understand?
be
The
looking for
beginning
this
of
shit.
her day, you know, that had fucked up her day. And a
Yeah.
lot of times when we go to work, you unless you see this person every day and they always have a fucked up attitude at Burger King, you understand what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I would like to try to think that some of you bitches are just having a bad day and somebody else pissed you off. Because a lot of times I'm gonna mirror your fucked up attitude.
Or you're just mad at your life circumstances. Let's be honest.
Could be.
Yeah. And
And
I'm
it's
gonna
true.
mirror your attitude.
They
Shit.
be mad at their life circumstances. I don't give a fuck about your day. I'm here to offer. You're offering a service. I'm giving you money, right? And I keep a stone face because I don't want to have a conversation. And I don't care if I have a now later and you got a cart full of. You have to let me lend my courtesy.
Yes.
Don't
Don't
think
just
that's given.
assume you gonna jump the fuck in front of me.
No, no,
That's
no,
why I wear my resting bitch face when I'm
no.
out. And they don't fuck with me at Whole Foods. Shit, people
A
get
lot
out
of
the
them
way.
be mad at their life, man. And it's just like I've been a fast food worker. I've been in the janitor cleaning up shit. I ain't never once come and be like a dick to the customer or the people because I got a job.
Yeah.
That's not
And I
taking
accepted this
accountability.
job. This is a job I accepted. Nobody forced it down my throat unless you're
Right.
part of a family business.
And we all got to pay bills. You're just doing it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean,
I don't disagree. But I just don't think it's just fast food. That's the only place I disagree. When it
no,
comes
no, it's
to
definitely
us,
not fast food.
Oh no, no, no. I
I
mean,
think
Customer
customer service,
service.
if we're talking now, is an oxymoron.
I
There's
you
no
know
such
what?
thing anymore.
I won't say customer service because you know what? When I get people of color on by phone most of the time, and I've
Hmm.
always had really great experiences, and my name is long as shit, and they always try to make sure they don't fuck up my name. But that same bitch that works at the fucking post office and at DMV, I don't know what the fuck her problem is. I didn't tell you I have to work there. But it's every time I walk into the post office or DMV. But the thing with DMV is not just us. All them bitches in DMV are upset. Every last one of them. All of them are
Every
unhappy as hell.
everybody that works at DMV.
It's kind of like jail. You
Yeah,
see the worst of the worst come there, like the Social Security office. That's the worst of the worst people come there. It's like jail. You're locked up basically. I mean,
and then how many times do they have to tell? Because folks don't read. You know, folk don't read. Folks do not read. So they show up there missing half the fucking shit that they need because they didn't go on the website and check that shit out. And
right,
got an
right.
attitude with you because they didn't bring the shit that they needed. Even though they may
Mm.
have received a letter that said you need this, and this. Oh, well,
But
can't you just
sometimes they
take
don't
my
even give
ID?
that person a chance. This is how they're saying it. It's like you don't even sound enthused to say what you. It's just like, what do you need? And it's like, what do you
Listen, and
mean?
that
What do
shit
I
don't have
need?
a race. I'm telling you, it don't have a race. Because
No, it don't. It
the
don't.
DMP
It don't.
here, the DMP here is all Polynesian. And I got the same Keisha, Maria, and motherfucking Betty. I got the same shit. Ling Shao, whatever fuck her name is, was rude as shit. I had to leave.
I I find
I've literally got mad.
gay women, they give good customer service to me. For some
They do.
reason, I don't know. They just
Mm-mm.
do. But
No, they give it to
Has they have
everybody. They're the best.
they
okay, okay,
with
They're the best.
with
That's why I like dining in like gay neighborhoods
right.
because they
yes,
have the best customer service. They're all
that
just
is very
happy to be here. They are
Hmm.
happy to be the fuck alive. And that is a
and
Right.
that's
beautiful
also a thing that
if
has
the
no
rest
color.
of us could get there, it would be beautiful.
I noticed that, and I never had a
Nope.
conversation. I'll just be like, why the gay people so their customer service is so
Because
they
they
go
living
out.
their best life. They
Mm,
living their best life and they just happy to be alive. They've come out.
on
This is who
Tamala,
I
I agree.
am. Yeah.
Go check Somalia. Go check
Oh, they
the
do.
Asians versus Black podcast we did on the Bull Light Network. Go check that out because I got sick and fucking tired of these Asians playing. victim when they have all these immoral practices in our neighborhood and treat us like shit and feed us Save-A-Lot food and outdated candy, outdated products, and then act like we hate them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I'm
Hold
tired of
on,
that, man.
hold
Because
on. In Florida, on the news, on camera, they caught one of them going out to the field to go retrieve a bag. You know what was in the plastic bag? A
What?
motherfucking cat dog.
then they
Oh my
killed the
mama.
cat.
Well, you're right.
Uh,
They call.
actual
Yeah,
cat
you're
dog
right. They got video of
that
them
we drive.
in the back of a Chinese restaurant in a blue van, and they had Ziploc dogs in the bag. Ziploc
Okay, this is why I
like
hate
air
Chinese.
sealed bags.
I hate Chinese food. I don't like it. I
I
hate it.
get
Well, look, let me say this.
that.
Let me say this, right? So I've been to have either one of you guys been to Japan?
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when I was over there, I was treated just fine. It was
Wait.
wonderful.
You can specify. I was not on mainland, and I heard the rudest shit. I was in Okinawa, which
I
is
was on
very
Oki.
Mainland is different.
I was
yeah.
on Oki
Okinawa.
in American Village. Yep.
Oh, Mr.
Uh
Miyagi,
huh.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okinawa.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okinawans.
those
They
people are some of the friendliest people in the world, or at least they
but
were
they
to
don't
me.
fuck with. Well, they don't fuck with mainland Japan or Japanese.
Okay, but I went to Tokyo too. And those people were the sweetest people in the world to me
You,
because they knew I was
hold on.
American
Is
and they
Tokyo
probably knew
on
I
the
had some money.
island?
Huh?
Is Tokyo on the
Japan,
island?
all of Japan island. It's
Yeah,
one big
all of
ass island.
Japan is islands.
Okay, why it's like that with Tokyo? I know through culture that the mainland China people look down on the people who on the island.
Oh yeah.
So it's classism everywhere you go.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Like most of the world don't fuck with Filipinos. You know what I'm
So
saying?
here's the thing
They treat
about
them
here's the
like
thing about
dogs all
Okinawa.
over the world.
So the Japanese invaded Okinawa. Okinawa has a different climate and everything. Okinawa climate is
Ooh,
like
girl. Ooh, I'm sorry.
there's um like if you go to Okinawa, they're dark.
Yes.
Okinawans are about our complexion. They don't
Yeah.
fuck with the mainlanders. So the ones on the mainland, they don't want to be dark. So they still adopt. Chinese and Japanese have adopted the policy: the whiter that you are, the better. Same thing with
Yeah,
the
that's
Philippines.
why they painted their face. They was geishas.
Same thing with Cubans.
Yeah. But I guess because I was
The black,
American, they treated me kindly over there because they
not,
probably figured
not,
I had some money to spend.
remember, you gotta say white Cubans when you say that.
Yeah,
The difference.
yeah, there
That's,
are.
you don't see a lot of black
White
Cubans here.
Cubans.
You see more white Cubans here. They're the ones that didn't want to live under those policies.
Shit.
But yeah, it's only when people come over here that they get their nose up in the air and
Oh
everybody
my
want to
God.
look down on the black folk. That's kind of how I feel.
I seen that on the news. They're suing them people. I seen that. That mouse in the food.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
God,
Like Baltimore. You couldn't pay me to eat no Chinese food.
girl, I
First
hate
of all, I don't
Chinese
eat Chinese food. I don't eat Chinese food at all. But if I
Well, you
did,
know, in like 2017, they banned in China cooking and eating dogs. Like I might be wrong about the year, but they definitely said no more of that.
but
you
it
want
When
to hear
they
still
something?
goes on in Korea.
You want to
when
hear
the
something
government got to
funny?
tell you, go ahead.
It ain't banned here. Look it up.
Ooh,
And this is
yeah.
yeah. I just wanted
See,
y'all to hear that.
this is what I mean about the immoral practices, right?
It's
That's
banned here
behind the
though.
scenes that happens all the time, but they don't want to act like they do. This is what it pisses me off. Like, bro, y'all are the worst. Y'all are the
But
worst.
all they banned it in China. I want y'all to think about this. Hawaii is still a U.S. state. It's not a territory, but it's a
No,
Right.
predominantly Asian country. It's a country that is now a state, right?
yes,
That shit's not banned here. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. When I first got here, you don't remember me telling you for Christmas, I think they slipped me some dog because so everything was closed on Christmas. I wasn't in my
yeah.
house yet. Me and my family looking for something to eat, so we went down to Chinatown. Went down to Chinatown. I ordered something that I thought was familiar. It said brisket. So I ordered a brisket wonton.
Girl,
Listen.
you gotta order like shrimp.
So
They
we
gave you
get
dog brisket.
I
Oh
only
my
eat seafood from
you can't
Chinese
convince me
restaurant.
that you not give me dog. And I'm gonna tell you why I think they gave me dog.
Ugh.
They say when you eat something that you're not supposed to, it fuck with your equilibrium.
It
So
does.
when I ate it,
Start
it
spinning.
wasn't the taste. I started feeling weird, and it was the only thing I can describe to you is it's a weird feeling. So I gave my husband some at the time. He tried it. He felt the same weird shit, and I said, "Listen, I think they gave us dog." He's like, he
Ew.
looked at me. Said, no, I said, no, I'm serious. I said, I'm dead serious. I think they gave us dog. So it prompted me to look up just to get it out of my head because I refused to believe that. When I looked it up and realized that it was legal here,
I mean, take that
and
beef
I'm
and broccoli and hold the beef up and be like, what meat get this texture and get this slimy? And you can't get beef like that. You get what I'm saying? And that beef and broccoli, or that beef, it's some of that beef. It be stringy, it be greasy. It don't look like regular beef. Like that's not beef, man.
That's why I
um,
only get the shrimp.
I only eat Panda Express. That's
I don't
it.
eat Chinese at all.
Panda
And that
Express,
was
because
my
they
first.
it's organic, it's authentic. You can tell, you can feel it, you can bite it. You know this is real chicken. This is real noodles. It's not greasy. It ain't no
When
MSG.
I and it's my fault that that happened to me because I hadn't eaten Chinese food in over 20 something years.
Mm.
And I got here and I was hungry. It was Christmas. I had a reservation for later. Everything else was closed. Fuck it.
I gotta
And
eat.
from that experience, and to this
Girl,
day, and I'm
next
telling you
time
this was 4 years
you were
ago.
staying downtown. You should have took
Yep,
your ass to Denny's.
it
Shit.
was closed. Everything
It
was
was
closed because of
closed. Denny's was
yeah.
closed.
And now I done ate fucking woof woof.
Ugh.
And even all these years later, I don't forget that feeling. I'm telling y'all, I don't care what nobody says.
It's
Nobody ever
delicious.
admits to eating fucking dog. I'm telling y'all, I think I ate dog.
I mean, if
And it felt
I've
like
ate Chinese food, so 9 times out of 10 I had dog or cat. That's just facts.
Yeah,
That's
I've
or
just
cat
eaten
facts.
it
dog.
before too. Mm.
Because
I'll
their
even
culture is not to go to the quality farms to get the quality meat. That's never been them.
Mm.
that's because of the population. Their
Yeah,
population has always been
you
too
gotta eat what
large
you
to
got, man.
you have
Yeah,
to. I mean,
yeah. See,
they
but they
eat
come
what they
here and we
can.
got choices, and they still don't choose those choices. They still keep the same practices.
Mm.
You know why? Cha-ching. Because these stupid
Yeah, it's
motherfuckers
money.
like
Yeah, yeah, it's money. It's
let's
money.
feed this, cut the cost, steal the neighbor's dog, and you can eat.
I
What
seen
the
one
fuck you
place in
think?
Florida. They was putting weed in the food and it was making people sick.
Oh
I
man.
heard about that
Yeah,
shit.
they got closed down. Yep. The lady said
I
she
heard
had
about
got
that.
real sick. I'm like, that's not a bad thing. You just need to
Oh,
let people know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember?
And yeah, yep, yeah, yo, I remember that. And people were getting actually sick. There's a few people that got sick from it, felt queasy and shit after eating it.
Yep,
The
yep.
weed,
It wouldn't have
and they
phased
got
me. I would
found
have been
out.
like, hey, I need another plate of that.
See?
Yeah,
Ew.
but you gotta know what type of weed they're using. What kind
Yeah.
of bull?
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
nobody
They
want no
got.
Guangzhou pack.
Nah, nah.
Mm-mm.
Nah,
Nobody wants none of that shit. Nah.
nah.
We don't want that with all that shit in it.
See?
So even with the weed now, you can't even smoke weed without worrying about
Knowing
what the
where
fuck
it
is
came
in it.
from. Knowing where it
Hey,
came from.
to my Chinese friends out there, if you're watching, if you motherfuckers can replicate everything else, how the fuck come y'all ain't replicated weed yet? I'm just wondering. I found a couple Chinese food recently. Yes, we did. I heard about it. They showed it on TV. They're suing.
See, but if that's up north, it's kind of like it's kind of not all the way on the Chinese people because they have a big rat infestation problem. A lot of people don't know when the meat gets transported to warehouses to sit before it gets distributed. What you think go
It's
on
the
in them
warehouses.
warehouses with that meat?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember the
Well,
book, what was it, 18, where he wrote about the slaughterhouses in Chicago?
uh,
18?
Was it 1819 or something like that? I have to look it up. But he wrote a book about the slaughterhouses in Chicago and described the conditions of the working people and the conditions of everything. And then Teddy Roosevelt tried to do some reform, but people still go
Did-
back to that shit. You don't know where people getting their stuff from, so you really just don't know. God, you guys are grossing me out right now. Um, Look, what do y'all think about PB and okay, so y'all remember PB and Rock got killed over by Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in
Yeah.
LA? All right, so he was in the hood. So uh what's his name?
Bosco
Bosco
100.
100 is basically saying that it was
I
his
heard
fault.
what he said. I know Bosco. I done been live with him before and everything. What Bosco said was the truth. Why did you go here to do that? He said I got a chicken and waffles in my hood because he from Inglewood. He said I
Yeah,
don't even go there.
yeah.
So he know he's like, bro, you don't. He said you done been robbed in L.A. before, so it ain't
Oh
like you
shit.
didn't know. He
Okay.
said now you should know not to be in this certain area. Then you with your girl, so you even more off balance because you're worrying about doing the family thing.
And there's a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle in a safer neighborhood that he could have gone to.
Hmm. And then you pull in with a
Yeah, flashing all your shit
so it's like you
At
killed yourself.
Roscoe's,
at Roscoe's.
Roscoe's.
Roscoe's in any neighborhood is not a Maybach pull
Well,
up type of.
they built one out by off Hollywood. They got one in Hollywood that's a lot safer than the one that's on like near Crenshaw,
I
Inglewood.
still wouldn't drive my Maybach there though. It's Roscoe's.
Well, I mean,
Like
when you're in Hollywood, you got to understand a Maybach
Hollywood's
is
a different
blending
type.
in. A
Yeah,
Maybach is blending in Hollywood
yeah.
Boulevard. You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
got a Maybach in
But when you
Hollywood.
on 81st and 82nd and 80, what was it, 87th? It's
Yeah,
the 8 9s hood.
yeah.
That's
You can't
destitution.
be over there in a Maybach. They still,
yeah,
they
but
still, they
Hollywood.
still set tripping.
I was trying to say, but Hollywood's still hood as fuck. You know what I mean?
No,
Despite
Hollywood
all
is
the
hood. Hollywood is hood, but you got a better. You can blend in with a Maybach in Hollywood than on 81st.
no. I get that, but I'm just
Because
saying,
LeBron's probably been to the one on Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
I would still with rappers right now in the climate that rappers are in. I just feel like y'all gotta watch where y'all go, regardless of where it is,
Anywhere.
especially Hollywood or anywhere in Cali and anywhere in New
Especially if
York.
you ain't known over there. Like if nobody know you, like you just,
You
you're
got
not
a
really
better chance of going
you.
international. Why don't they like to do international shit? Like I never understand why make all of this money to go
Because
shoot fucking fights and
it's
go to
about
Roscoe.
bragging. It's about
Yeah.
saying I'm in LA. That's what
I'm
they be
in the
wanting, the
hood.
bragging rights about being in LA, no security, no nothing. And then
Yes.
he don't expect to get shot in the chest. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And that's
And then
the
it's
other
like you got millions of dollars, you got
how
thousands worth of
y'all
dollars in your neck. It don't cost much to get a security guard hold me down while I'm in this place, bro. You just not thinking.
I
He
don't
was
Sophia,
understand
robbing.
back
like
up your argument, sweetie.
He said it's not his fault he was robbed and killed. Okay, now let me tell you this. When you're worth millions of dollars, you got kids, you're driving a Maybach with $100,000 on your neck, it is your fault if you go in destitute areas flashing. I don't care. It is your fault. You have to be mindful. You can't just go anywhere and do anything in America.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just
I
like
mean, I remember at 14 when I was wearing my gold chain to check that motherfucker
you can't do
in
that
New York.
everywhere. I understand certain civilians who never been a part or been in the streets and don't never had violence occur to them don't know that I can go anywhere I go. No, you can't. In different cultures and like LA is a different culture. You got to
It
tap
is.
in. You can't just go and do anything you want. Let's stop that.
Yeah,
No, you can't. The average person can't go to their projects right now with jewelry late at night and go or just anywhere and go sit and think ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
yeah.
Get out of
I
here.
think
It is his
it's
fault because if I got kids, I got a family, and I'm worth something, I done established myself. I'm gonna think 3, 4 times before I go in the project hoods to go eat some fucking chicken and waffles. Something that
so
a chef can cater for me at home.
so the moral of that story is, god damn man, it it doesn't make any sense to make all of this money to get yourself out of a predicament or to get yourself out of a certain lifestyle just to turn right back around and go right back to that same situation and not expect the bullshit. Oh, Malika, I'm totally looking at your head right now and your leaves look like your hair.
Yeah, you
Just
like you got Bantu knots.
I just noticed it.
You like you got Bantu knots.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
Samaya, he didn't deserve it, but we're not
No.
gonna act like,
I mean, but if
bro.
he had a craving, so Somalia also says he had a craving. I mean, DoorDash is always so like
You can have a
LA.
craving, but there's ways to go about it. When the
Yeah,
average person, cool. But if you're worth something, you got millions, you done solidified yourself.
send your
What's the point of take?
bodyguard, dog. Call DoorDash,
Which
Postmates,
is the other more this was
Grubhub.
moral of the story. Just
Uber Eats.
because you have a hood pass does not mean that you always need to use it. It's
And that
cool
you
to have
always
it,
fucking welcome.
but yes, and just that's a fact. Just because you have a hood pass and you might have had one from birth, but once you leave and once your life changes, there's no guarantee that you are always welcome, and that
Yeah,
includes family just as
yeah,
much as just regular motherfuckers. Shit, sometimes family is worse.
And back
Everybody's
to that
not gonna.
last comment, I can see if this was the first time this happened. But if this happened
Yeah.
before and you ain't take no count of measures, it's your fault if it happened again. I'm sorry. Then you
food.
No,
got your
that's
girl with you. Then you got your girl with you. You beat that. It could have happened to her, and
Yeah, that's
you'd have felt 10 times worse because your woman got killed behind some shit that you not taking pre-countive measures about.
yeah.
It this is not Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is America.
He
Dog
had
eat dog.
responsibility on some level. He
And
did.
then when you got something, your level increases times 10. So to be out here just lackadaisical, acting like I can do what I want, that's not true. It's not. You don't see Bill Gates pulling up the chicken and waffles.
However, I would like to speak though that young
But
Dolph.
Bill Gates
I
will
don't.
probably get mad
I
respect if
think
he
Dolph.
showed up.
I, I'm trying to remember where Dolph was when he was killed.
He'd be
He
there.
was
Um,
in Memphis.
well, he's from Memphis, and he didn't leave Memphis. Here's the thing. A lot of times these guys they become hood legends in their hood. And I think what happens is that's mind you, I'm a Dolph. I love Dolph. I'm a Dolph fan. But I do feel like if you feel like you're never gonna reach Bill Gates status, or you might not meet nationwide status, sometimes they settle for my neighborhood, my state, my block, my whatever. And that's what happens. A lot of these dudes become a hood legend because they made it further than everybody else in the hood. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? And they haven't surpassed that, but I've surpassed the motherfuckers I went to school with. I got more money than I'm the first one to make 6 or 7 figures in my family and so
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
But they
And let me
never
make a
leave
point
that.
Bosco made. Bosco said, he be traveling. He said, I can't stand. He said, I survived my hood. Why do I want to travel to go to somebody else's hood?
Yeah.
That's big
What points does
facts.
that make? You made it out
Yeah.
your hood, which was bad, to go to somebody. He said, when I travel, niggas be talking about come to my hood.
Because
Bro,
I
I
was
don't want
gonna
to come
say
to
he
your
ain't
hood.
from LA.
No, he's not. He's from
He's not.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, he ain't from LA. You can't come out there.
Yeah,
Cali
and it's
got a
like,
whole different
bro,
vibe, man. We
I'm not
got a
about to
whole
leave
different
my hood to
vibe.
go to another nigga hood just to eat some shit that I can have anywhere.
See,
No,
yeah,
sorry.
facts. See, wearing my Cali shirt, shit, represent.
And
But
that and we need to find out how many celebrities went in that store and ate.
probably none.
I
He
wonder
may have
why.
been like what's that nigga name? Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh
Hey, but
man.
before I get on his punk ass, let's talk about one more thing. Lakeith Smith. Uh, so I guess he's resentenced to 30 years for a friend killed by cops in Alabama. Ain't that crazy? So the cops killed this man, and basically this young man has to do 30 years for that shit. So I think there should be another investigation. I know he was resentenced, but if the cops did do this, man, they need to be held accountable because that's some serious bullshit right there, you know. And that's just a fucking shame. That's a fucking shame. If this man is
Hold
truly,
on. You said Lakeith Smith was his name?
yeah, Lakeith Smith.
Oh,
He
this the
was,
one that had his eyes poked out and all that?
I think, well, his friend was killed by the cops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he got
Oh,
resentenced to 30
oh
years.
yeah, I seen that. I seen that because he was yeah, they'll charge you with your friend's murder if you're liable. But they'll write it off too if they're liable, they'll write it off on you.
Yeah, which is some bullshit.
So what's the story? Was it any guns, anything illegal going on?
Not that I was aware of. No.
Because if it is, he's over. It's
Yeah,
over for him.
yeah.
What I miss? I'm sorry, I had to
We were talking
break real
about
quick.
Lakeith Smith, who got resentenced to 30 years for a friend who was killed by the police in Alabama.
Mm.
Yeah.
So like if I give a friend a gun and he go hurt a cop, and they kill him, they're gonna charge me.
Mm. You know what? I may have to do some research on that shit.
Yeah.
I could see how that could work because I
But what
guess
if
I
he
have to
stole
put
the
my.
gun?
It don't
Now, if
matter.
he
Even
stole the
with
gun,
like they're prosecuting drug dealers who sell drugs to people who overdose, like Philip Seymour Hoffman and the dude from The Wire. They went back and got those drug dealers. So you're
because
liable for a murder.
if you give somebody a gun and they use that gun to kill
That's if
my
you
whatever.
give. But what if he takes it without your knowledge?
Then they gonna say, why didn't you report it?
I didn't notice it was missing within the last hour and a half.
Then they gonna say you have a firearm. You're supposed to be responsible with knowing when your firearm is missing or not. They gonna play that game with you because they let you know when you in firearm. You have to be accountable for your
Because now,
firearm.
because it is a firearm.
Well,
Now
now I
you have.
get it.
Now here's
All
the
right, so
question:
then let me ask y'all this.
why don't
All
you
right,
know
so
where your
y'all
fire?
hear, you should. So the lady that was out here in Virginia, this happened in Newport News. Her son, her 6 year old son, took a gun to school and shot the
Oh
teacher.
yeah, yeah.
And the mother's not being held liable, as far as I know.
No
What you did
charges.
you notice? Go ahead, Dutch. I'm sorry.
There was no charges, and not only are there no charges, this child already had a history of threatening people at the school, and already had a history of
Yep.
saying that he wanted to commit violence against that same teacher and other teachers, and it was reported to the office
Yep.
way prior to this. The teacher already said that they were not comfortable with this student, so this was something that was ongoing. He didn't just come to school one day and say fuck it. There was
Yeah.
already reports, and he already told a teacher that he wanted to kill them. He
Yeah.
verbalized that already.
Well, you
Yeah.
notice that she
And he
never
came to me for bullets.
she
Sorry.
didn't demonize him neither.
No,
Did you notice that? I kind of respect.
yeah,
She didn't say he's a monster.
I mean,
She's a child.
so that so that was what I had an issue with in the comment section of the Peanuts Gallery on IG. It was so many people. Oh, lock him up. He's already blah 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 blah. And I actually got into an argument with a girl because I said, that just tells me two things: you don't have kids, and you don't know how the human brain works. Because first of all, your brain isn't even fully developed until you're 25. Let's start
Yeah.
there.
Prefrontal
And
cortex, and it's even less for dudes. It's even further off for
yes,
dudes.
yes, and also, you do not have the rationalization of right from wrong completely, even though we put that on kids at the age of 7.
Yeah.
Remorse and right from wrong going hand in hand
The kids
is
don't know
not
that.
it's not developed yet at that age in the teenage years. This is a scientific, since everybody wants to go on science, then use it. You know what I mean? They can't use science when it's beneficial, but then it's not. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't support somebody else's
Well, that's
benefit.
what got juvenile life without parole overturned because the prefrontal cortex is not developed yet, and they know that
Yes,
through science, so they have to overturn juvenile life without parole.
That's what's
Just off
up.
that
yes,
alone.
That's
Yeah,
what's
he's
up.
gonna
yes.
have he's gonna have a second chance at life, but he cannot do no shit like this no more.
But
So
look,
at 6 years old, but see, here's the thing.
I ain't even mad at him. I'm pissed at the mother.
Yes.
Because
So
that
at
gun
6 years
should
old,
not have been in his hands.
well, it's not
I'm
just
sorry,
a
Dutch.
gun. At 6 years old, you have to ask yourself, what is he hearing? What is he seeing? What is he viewing that
Yeah.
has him, before there was even a gun picked up, that has him saying, I want to kill you, or has him
How about
threatening the
this?
adult, you know?
I guarantee you he got childhood trauma from either from the parents or the family.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Oh,
go out and
hell
want to
yeah.
shoot somebody at 6. Something is traumatized happened to him. Something happened to him.
Yeah.
Period. Because
And
they only mimic
something really bad.
right. They only mimic what their environment show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I hope he gets the help he needs.
so they want to lock the 10-year-old up for the rest of his life also. And it was fucked up, real fucked up what he did, but he's still only 10. I have a 10-year-old son. I'm talking about the 10-year-old that his mother said he couldn't get the VR. He said, fuck it, shot
Oh
his
yeah,
mother,
when he
went,
shot his mom.
shot,
Yeah. And
shot his
ordered the
mom,
damn thing
ordered the
anyway.
shit.
But that's
Oh,
happening a lot more. Like a 17-year-old killed his they was black. He killed his mother over disagreement, and it's like it's from the lack of discipline. It's from the lack of discipline.
And not securing your fucking weapons. Like, what
well,
is
let
he
me ask
doing with
you
your
something.
weapon?
I have a conspiracy theory. Y'all want to hear it? Y'all interested?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't noticed the heart attacks in the way these kids and everybody has been acting since the shots from COVID? I just want
Or
y'all to
or
think about. the heart attacks, people having random heart attacks, then this whole fentanyl craze. Is it really just fentanyl? We're not above using something else to cover something else up. But since these shots, you have seen a lot more kids acting out in a manner in which it's beyond your norm.
Yeah.
It's kids, and not just
On top
kids,
of, you're seeing a lot of cardiac deaths and a lot of younger people.
Mm-hmm.
and grandmothers. They just had a grandmother that just flipped out all of a sudden and stabbed her grandkids. Never had no issue, no predisposed anything. Just flipped the fuck out. This happened a couple weeks ago and just stabbed her grandkids, killed them. So when you think about just me, when you inject something into your body that we still don't know what the hell it is, because you can't tell me, you can't tell me, I can't tell you. And the cardiac, people go into cardiac arrest at a much younger age, and the
Yeah.
amount of death, and it's not just here. There was a DJ that just died on the stage, just went into cardiac arrest,
The
a
dude
South
in
African.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah, that is strange. So
Yeah,
it
that is.
does. Just think about the time frame and what has changed with us and health wise from the times that we've been administering the shots,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
I
it's
and
mean,
those
something
that got.
y'all,
so now you
hey,
got me nervous.
y'all are very brave for getting it. And I'm gonna just say that y'all are very brave for getting it.
I had no
I was
choice.
forced. I was forced, but I refused
Oh,
to
okay,
get the boost.
Malika. I understand. I understand your circumstances.
Yeah.
I understand your
Yeah,
circumstances. But
they
even
used
that
my
is
child.
even that is illegal because they can't make you choose. I ain't gonna do that. But
Yeah, but they did.
They
Did.
used my child for me
They
to use.
blackmailed
So let
us.
me tell you, they told me, and here's it was real fucked up how they did us. They made an announcement that if you did not have the shot, that you would no longer be able to come inside the building to retrieve your child. And that was for me. You're not
mm,
going to stop me from coming to get my child under any means. So I had to make a decision. Would that stop me? Because I was
what?
totally against the shot. Do not believe in the shot. Had to get it. Still would tell somebody don't get it. But
Oh yeah.
they did that. Yeah, they did that. They sent a notice out saying, um, if you have not been vaccinated, you will not be able to come inside to
To
retrieve your
retrieve
child.
your child.
Do you remember me telling you about that shit? And I wigged
Yeah.
out so bad. And
Yeah.
so to me,
I seen one facility that was pertained for just college athletes, and they had put a note on the window saying that if you got that thing, then we're not going to be able to insure you 100% because in order for us to clear you, we have to tell the people that you have a good strong heart. We're not necessarily able to do that now.
Oh,
So
because you got the COVID shot.
because you got so we can't say for sure you're straight. I'm
Wow.
gonna find that. I'm gonna find that picture and I'm gonna upload it to the group chat for y'all. And it kind of messed me up. Like, yeah,
Wow.
but let me add some insight. Let me add one insight. When the AIDS epidemic kicked off, who was spearheading it in the
Yeah.
90s? It was Fauci.
Yeah.
Now we hear who's headlining it, Fauci.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Fauci. I was like, who the fuck is Fauci? Fauci, the guy, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I had got a hold of something from Nigeria, right? I follow this Nigerian news station. Malik, I could have sworn I sent you this shit. I typically send you. So, do you remember with the whole AIDS epidemic, who was the poster children for that? Africans.
Black kids.
Do you remember when Ebola was a thing? Who was the poster children for that?
Black kids.
Okay. Do you remember when they did all the other flus and so forth? And who was the poster children for that?
Black kids. Yeah.
Okay, let me
Monkeypox.
reel it back real quick. So when this shit
Street
came
food.
out,
Yeah.
they initially tried to use Africans as the poster children, right? Them countries, Ghana and Nigeria, got together and they said, "Fuck this shit." They did a whole news thing. They got the Indians on there and everything, and I'm talking red dot, not feather. Everybody got on there and they were explaining how it works, and they said very politely, "This is some shit that originated in Spain." Okay, and they showed you images. They told us they want you to think that it's us. First of all, this shit ain't even out here. Shit wasn't even in Africa. My brother-in-law was stationed out there at the time. Nobody out there had fucking COVID. They were not wearing masks in Africa, right? This is why. Now here's the contradiction. Couldn't be a lie, because if it was, y'all in France would not. It would have been no reason for y'all trying to use this fucking vaccination and use this COVID shit on Africans. Remember, everybody was all in an uproar because they wanted to test it on Africans. They wanted to pick 6 Africans. You know, like why? So, and it was because we were resistant. We're resistant to COVID.
We just
My
go get 6
father had to
Africans.
do a blood sample because he was resistant. Heavy weed smokers are also a something in the strain, a specific strain that makes you resistant to it. All of this shit was studies that were done over the course of I think last year and the year before last. Now you go back and you look at all this shit.
Wait. So I'm good. I'm good.
They showed gay men. They showed 2 gay men that were
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian, that
Mm-hmm.
were Spaniard. They showed men in Portugal, and then they started explaining. This was on the African news channel, and they're saying, now look, first of all, and that's why that whole "it's a gay disease" came out, and they were trying to put a hush on it. No, don't say it's a gay disease. It was. What happened was men were sleeping with men, and
Oh,
this
the
is how
monkeypox.
the monkeypox shit. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
the monkeypox. So not COVID. It was the monkeypox. So the
Yeah, where they
monkeypox shit.
started showing like these black kids with this monkeypox all over
That,
them.
I seen a
that
lot
was the
of
last
around here.
monkeypox. So it was monkeypox that was the last disease that I was referring to. They did it with
Yeah.
COVID, and then they tried to do it with monkeypox. Monkeypox is when the Africans said, "All right, that's enough already. Like enough is enough already." So they went ahead and they started televising shit and showing you, since they keep saying that this is the face of viral disease, let us show you where this shit really came from. And that's when they started saying, hey, this was some gay shit. um they weren't downing gay people, but they were being honest about how it was being passed around.
Well, how about this? Today I just read an article. It's some country in Africa they said they're killing you and jailing you behind that now. Go check it
Behind what?
out. Being gay.
Oh shit.
Yes.
They said no more of that. No more of that. And I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'm just reporting the news. They're saying, based off what Dutch said, we're gonna connect the dots. They want that out from far away from them.
Mm.
I think it's based off religion because he said down with Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what he said.
Mm.
Well, you have to remember that most African countries are Muslim countries. You
Yeah.
have to remember Christianity was something that they took over there. So those countries that are Christian, that is still a very new thing. When you look at old religion, Muslims are not gonna go from Muslim to Christian. You'll find somebody go from Christian to Muslim, but you won't find the conversion going the other way. So you're
Yeah.
talking about countries that have been Muslim since the beginning of time. Now, we're still talking about Africa. We ain't talking about the Middle East because they're a different type of Muslim because they do sleep with boys over there because boys are
I
for
was gonna
pleasure.
say, hold up now.
But that's why I'm being very specific. There's
Yes.
a different
There's
culturally in the Middle East. They're Muslim is Muslim, but their practice when it comes to certain shit, it's not allowed. Africans are not, and if you are doing it, it needs to be done behind closed doors as far as they're concerned. With the Middle East, they're doing it, and the women know that they're doing it, and they're not hiding they're doing it. We're just not supposed to talk about it. But we all know y'all are doing it. Y'all fuck boys for pleasure. They
Yeah.
they get them young and they
Rape
turn them into
boys.
dancers and they rape them.
Rape them little
What are you talking
boys
about in the Muslim country, in the Muslim culture?
in the Middle East.
No, we're talking about the Muslim culture in the Middle East specifically.
Also, you talking
But
about
pretend
when you mean Middle East? You talking about what exactly?
I would
Afghanistan,
Afghanistan, Iraq,
Iraq,
that whole
that whole
um
area.
Well, I practice Islam majority of my life, and that's true. That's another reason why some of these women they can't pray in the masjid with us. Then I start wondering and looking like, hold on, that's the imam boyfriend. That is the imam boyfriend right there. And when they come out, you realize what's going on. It's in the culture, and they drink too. Let's stop that. They
Oh yeah.
drink too.
Yeah, they do. And they party.
Let's
and
stop that.
and a woman and a man just got sentenced. Was it life? Is it life or 10 years for dancing in public? They weren't married, but she was a woman dancing with the man. He could dance. Was she? So when I think of, it's one thing to have strict rules for women, but when there's strict rules that allow men to dance with men and it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? And for men to hang out in a room with other men with male belly dancers and that shit's okay. But if you get caught dancing with a woman of the opposite sex, married or not, you going to prison for 10 years?
And why
That's
it's so hard for them is that it's not rules, it's more of religion and culture. It's so deep rooted. It's like it's not even a law or a rule. It's like this is their culture and their rules. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
JJ, he said, can we talk about how the president of Tanzania was the first president to test a goat, orange, water? Wait, the comments fucked me up. Test the goat, and then orange and water during COVID, and they killed his ass.
I don't know what that means, bro.
I
well, I mean,
it is help us
Tanzania
out.
is we did a number on them long time ago, right?
Yeah,
We kind of wiped their population out because the Tanzanian had a distinct look like the Tasmanian devil, right?
yeah.
Oh,
The man looked just like that. So we've been over there kicking their ass for the longest. So it would make sense if they killed the president behind that.
mm. But I don't
Shit.
understand what the goat, orange, and water have to do with it.
I think that he tested a goat. He probably tested an orange and probably tested water. Just testing COVID in those things. It was. I think that's what he's trying to say. And
And they didn't.
I don't want to fuck it up though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
they was
yeah,
killing anybody who was trying to debunk.
debunk any of the
Debunk.
yeah.
Yeah. But I had COVID, so can't nobody tell me that ain't real.
That shit is
I
real.
had it twice.
Yeah, I've
I had
I
it
had
was
it.
gonna say
twice.
I had it,
And I
and
got
let
the
me tell you
damn shot. So
something.
that shit ain't mean shit to me.
I had COVID actually I think a few times, and never once did I really know that I had COVID. I've
Oh, I
had the
do.
shot since then, right? Do you know that this last time that I got COVID was the worst shit I ever experienced in my fucking life?
It
Beforehand,
activated
before
it.
I got the shot, I was good. Like people like, oh, I experienced this, and I'm like, shit, I didn't experience that. And everybody was telling me all their experiences and shit. But I got COVID like about 6 months ago. And I've had the shot for 2 years since. And when I tell you that shit fucked me up, it was like you feel like death is on your door. No bullshit.
I knew when
And
I first had it because I don't get dizzy, just for getting dizzy.
it
And then
came
you know
back
how
positive.
you can look
Wait,
this way and then
wait.
look to the
You
left
see
and
what
the
he
right.
said? He said it came back positive.
Oh shit.
What, the COVID?
Which means that, yeah, which I can believe that, which means that they were putting it in shit. If they tested a goat, they tested an orange and they tested the water and it came back positive, of course they killed his ass because
Well,
that
I
just
mean,
proved what
the
is it?
He was
lab.
putting that shit in the water and shit and in the food.
Population control. That's
Yeah.
population
Well, that's not even
control.
that. Fauci had a direct link to the lab in Wuhan.
Mm.
1 + 1 is 2. Go do that. I don't pull shit out my ass.
That shit.
Yeah. And they try to put it off on the common folk who they've been dealing with animals like that their whole life. No, it was a lab.
And I went.
It got
It was
out
in the lab. Mm-hmm.
because they said a couple scientists had got sick months before this got out.
Mm.
For surely. I
And
mean,
then
quite
and
frankly,
then
them
it's a
motherfuckers still had
patent.
masks.
Yeah, but a
If you
mask
look at
ain't.
a country that never, I'm talking about if you're looking at a country pre swine flu. Now post swine flu, they never stopped wearing masks. I'm not trusting shit that's going on in them labs at all over there anyway, because what do
Right.
y'all know that we don't know? And here it is a year, 2 years, 5 years later. Now we got to walk around like y'all. They've been walking around with masks. They never
They
took their masks off.
but it wasn't because of COVID. It was because of SARS. SARS was just like COVID.
SARS, it was SARS. And what SARS, COVID is SARS.
I'm
COVID
gonna
is
tell you,
SARS,
every time I fly
Yeah,
over there, they wearing masks on the plane.
and that's been
Every
going on for
freaking
that.
time.
That was going on. I think SARS hit when anthrax hit.
yes. So COVID is SARS. COVID is mutated SARS. So it is still SARS. It's just been mutated. But my point is, they once SARS hit, they never stopped wearing masks after that. And we
Never.
would see them. And we fuck these motherfuckers thought, y'all got bad smog or some shit? Because for a while they tried to tell it, that the air quality is fucked up.
Yeah.
No, air quality. Now, fast forward years later, and that's why, I laugh at the whole COVID-19 shit, because it really came out in 2019. We just didn't go on lockdown until 2020 in March. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The distraction was the Kobe Bryant shit. When
Yeah.
COVID actually hit the newspapers and hit the news, the distraction was a worldwide distraction because Kobe Bryant had crashed on a plane with
Well,
his
that was in
children.
January. The
Yeah.
information hit in August.
Mm.
That wasn't
So
in January. I thought that was
no,
like
no,
in October with Kobe.
no. I love Kobe. He died January 2019,
He did.
and I ain't been the same
Was
since.
it
So that's how I
January?
know.
I cried, man. I cried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was January.
Okay,
Break my
so
heart.
they said that it actually hit the
And
newspapers
Gianna. Mm.
around the time. Why we didn't know that it happened was because the news of Kobe. Now, when it came out, obviously, or when COVID actually hit from the lab onto the population, I would assume would have been, I was thinking in October. But I know whenever Kobe died, why we didn't know was because of all the other news that was going on, and nobody paid attention.
Well,
Nobody
on
paid.
top of those scientists were sick and they didn't know what the fuck they were sick for. So
Yeah.
it took some time to
But
roll
it was
out.
in there
Hold
already
on,
now.
this is
They
what's
got so
doing
much
it.
going on over there.
But I mean, yeah, yeah, it's
I mean,
crazy.
think about it. Anthrax, all of this shit. They got
But
too much
it's no longer
going
just
on.
guns. It's 2023. It's biological warfare now.
Oh, yeah,
See,
definitely.
people scared of COVID, but they need to hear about something called nano. Nano gonna tell all this shit up.
I used to
Nanotechnology, nanobiology. Oh my
nano
goodness. It's
nanocells and all that shit. That shit can slip into your pores, right? The word nano itself, look that shit up, and then add that in front of a few other words. Use nano as your root word, and then you're gonna find out all the shit that's connected to that, all the way to the shit that they can slip in your skin, nanocells, all that shit. Yeah, man. Just like the
it is
Swiss. We're so behind. Switzerland been had microchip people.
Hmm.
Their shit, and it's public. The Swiss no longer when they try to do that real ID shit out here, and you
Hmm.
notice we are doing it, they stopped with the real ID. COVID hit, and that's what stopped the whole real ID thing. Switzerland went ahead and proceeded with their microchipping, and they're the ones that with the microchip. I think it's in your thumb. You can also feel free to look this up. Um, that is where their ID, their credit cards, and everything else. Let me see if I can pull it up. But yeah, the Swiss
well, I
are
mean, it's
already
no
doing.
different from what we think we don't want a microchip, but it's something called an IP address that's on
Yeah.
your phone right now that you
Yeah.
take everywhere with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Track
it's
your
a
ass everywhere you go.
and more importantly, it was ironic that kicked off the year of the election.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It
I
really
don't know if
was.
you guys see this. I'm trying to center it. Here we go.
I can't read it, but I'm blind.
The microchip, and yeah, I see
That
it.
lets you pay with your hand. Thousands of Swedes are inserting microchips under their skin. This started in October 2018. This was as of recently as 2022. So the microchip thing started as something like a slow, some people have it now. It's very popular over there. Very, very popular. And it's being inserted in their hand, under their skin, and
Well,
a
I
wake up,
personally
you
say
got your passport
moving
and all that
forward
shit.
in this future, we're going to have to some way incorporate ourselves with AI. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's hard, but we're going to have to in order to move
You mean
forward because
willingly? You mean willingly?
Yeah.
Because we're already incorporated.
I mean willingly because it's so taboo. I don't want, but you already AI. Look at your phone.
Yeah.
You keep it on you.
Well, not
It's an
your phone,
extension.
not just your phone. So y'all mean to tell me y'all ain't figured out that they got AIs in these McDonald's and WalMarts and shit that mass produce things?
Oh, yeah.
See, here's the problem: pandemonium, mass hysteria. Everybody is not equipped to handle the world moving forward with technology or with robotics or with artificial intelligence that look like us. But make no mistake, these movies are not made just with somebody's imagination. These movies
Nope.
are
Mm.
used to get you
Minority
comfortable.
Report, all that shit.
They are used to get you comfortable with an idea that's already happening. You're just not aware of it yet. And a lot of
Terminator.
Yes, mass hysteria, mass pandemonium. When people realize certain things, we don't know how to act. The public tends to freak out. And in
Yeah.
order for them to make you guys comfortable, they have to put out movies and shit like Megan and all these, so you can see how realistic. And what you don't realize is movies, you're test dummies. These movies are what the, how I say, test dummy options. We're gonna put this movie out. Let's see how they respond to it, instead of putting the AIs out there, that the robotics that actually look like us and that are actually performing like us, they put it in a visual effect, which is, i.e., movies, because that is the first way to put the ideas brainwashing. You gotta put the idea in the mind first.
He who
You gotta make it
controls
comfortable.
images controls the minds.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
Yes. Now, and then 20 years from now, you're gonna find out that the motherfucker that's been serving you burgers for the last 10 years has been artificial intelligence all along. But they're not gonna tell you until the public can handle it. But make no mistake, we're already in that era. We just don't
We already
know.
here. We've
Yeah,
been here for at least 10, 15 years now. We just don't know it.
absolutely.
I'm
Like
gonna
the
give Andrew Schultz
GPS.
some credit. Andrew Schultz said, anytime you're using a product that's free, you're the product.
Facts.
Take Google, take Facebook, take anytime you're using a service that's free, you're the
You're the
product.
public, yeah.
I said,
That's a
oh
fact.
man, it hit me like God. And I've been complying to that before. So I'm like,
Yeah, we
damn, it
all
hit
have.
me.
We all
Yep.
got Facebook. We all got freaking Instagram.
So
We
we
all
can't
got
talk
And
shit about AI when we've been helping program the shit the whole time.
yes,
exactly.
I'll give you prime example. Do you know what the first thing? First, it was women. They geared to us with appliances, household appliances. And what they did was, we're going to continue to add more and more intelligence to make your job easier. And what, honey, this fucking vacuum, I don't have to vacuum. This shit's gonna do it on its own. You know, the little vacuum that goes around and it starts like that, right? You
Shut
start
up.
seeing, but then, yeah, motherfucker, I was referring to you. But
I know
let's
you
get to the
were.
guys.
Shit.
Let's get to the guys though. You know how they got y'all? You know how they desensitized y'all and made y'all comfortable with it? Sex toys. Y'all went from pocket peas. I don't make me say it. Y'all know what that is.
And video
To
games. And video
and
games.
video games. To now, it's no longer just a blow up doll who has a mouth like that. There's actual flesh toned, cyber skin.
Oh,
If the
Lord.
more you interact with her, the more she learns your personal tastes and so forth.
I heard a
So the
robot. I heard her say that she wants her rights and she eventually wants to mate with humans.
yes,
I
this
heard her
so
say
this
that.
and then this that same AI that you're referring to, that's the one that they've been talking about a lot. Actually said that they were here to replace us, and that's
I
what
seen that.
humans. Yeah, so now it's no longer one of those things that maybe. This is very much so happening, but
Right.
again, until we're completely, as JJ said, completely, the world has to be desensitized, because
Yeah.
there's not enough people on board with robotics. Change is a very hard thing to get everybody on one accord for, and until they can get the majority or the masses to accept the
And they're
conversion
slowly
into
doing
having
it. They're
AI in
slowly
your
doing
house,
it.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what's going on, you
Mm.
know.
So look, we've been on this jump for about 2 hours. I want to cover one last thing. Did y'all see Tekashi 6ix9ine get his ass whooped in their bathroom?
Yeah. They beat the brakes and
Like,
rotors off that boy.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
like
they
it. I didn't like it. I don't
And I
me
like
was
it.
telling
neither.
my people, look, you got your ass whooped, but people will give you credit if you fought back, bro. Instead of having your back on your back, kicking your leg up. And then you'll
Well,
come here,
didn't
and
he
then
go
you'll.
back and say he respected them or some shit?
It don't even matter because they whooped your ass. It would have. Your actions would have said more than what your mouth said. But then you'll get online and argue with me and call me a bitch. When you was just on your back with your legs in the air, bro, you didn't swing one punch.
Uh,
But are we surprised?
Not at all. Not at all.
We're not.
That's what
I
you
mean,
got to say about it. I'm
I didn't like.
curious.
I didn't like it, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I don't like 6ix9ine. I think he's a bitch. I'm not a fan. I don't like his music. I don't like him.
Yeah.
However, until y'all go find George Zimmerman and beat his motherfucking ass, I don't care about none of that shit. If you could find
yeah.
Tekashi punk ass, but
I
you
feel
and
you.
George
I feel
fuck
you.
around all this fucking time, I don't give a fuck about Tekashi. George still waiting on an ass whooping. That's how I feel.
That's
I
real.
mean,
That's
I
real.
can't even argue with that. That's real
But
facts.
you know, we give our attention to everything but what it's supposed to go to. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Hence our
that's
So
what.
topics this
that
evening.
yep. So that's my take. That's how I feel about it. I feel like, yeah, okay, he got his ass whooped. But let's one little thing, let me put this in there. We're in a snitch culture. Um, we're in it. Our generation is not a part of it. Our generation knew what it meant to be a snitch, knew what it meant to be a rat.
Yeah,
So they beat the shit out of this dude for being a rat. Here's my only problem with that. Most of y'all faves are snitches. Most of these industry motherfuckers, most of these dudes in the industry are snitches, rats. Number two, most people nowadays are not gonna take no case for your ass. So everybody
Nah.
marveling at him getting his ass whooped and shit. And I'm talking about this generation.
yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers are part of this snitch generation ass culture. So I don't understand the point. What was the
And
point?
personally, he didn't get beat up for being a snitch. He got beat up because he run his mouth too much. He engaged those
Oh,
dudes and they whooped his ass.
Yeah.
That's what that
oh, well,
was.
so I know that. I know he's been older ass because he's always, well, I'm here and ain't nobody touch me and I'm without security. Yeah, I
Exactly.
figured he was gonna get his
Yeah,
Exactly.
ass
yeah.
whooped.
He just needs to shut the fuck up.
But he got the right idea though, right? Because he was in the gym. What you need to do is step it up
Yep.
and go get your get back, bro.
And go get your get back.
I think it was
That's
staged.
it.
The motherfucker had on a bubble jacket in the gym and some weird ass shorts on, saying he was in the sauna. I think it was staged.
You know what? He is
I
the
think,
king of fucking spoofs. You know, like I might have to think. I
and
might
that's
have to
why,
sit on that. But
go
who
back and
gonna do
look.
it? Who
He had
gonna
on
do
a
that?
you think that motherfucker would come on, man? He pale as shit. It didn't take much. It don't take much for you to have lumps and bruises. But if as many motherfuckers wanted to beat my ass like that, it was probably look, if you stage y'all beat my ass, everybody's gonna be happy because I already got my ass whooped. And then I can go wherever the fuck I want to because ain't nobody gonna
Oh
want to beat my ass.
God.
See, but he gotta follow that up with something. You can't just go back to. He ain't dropped music. It ain't like he been dropping music. So if it's a publicity stunt, where are you following it up with?
Yeah.
I personally
Maybe
think
he's about
he
to
ran
drop
his mouth.
an
He ran his mouth to the wrong people. That's
album.
all.
He got because he don't gotta drop music. He got his ass whooped. These interviews pay. He got to go get interviewed. They gonna want to talk to him about getting that ass whooping. Everybody gonna know, and they gonna interview him. And he loves to talk. He loves to get interviewed and run his mouth. That's why he's in the shit he's in now. So they gonna pay him, ain't they? They gonna pay him. He
Well,
gonna
hold
get
on.
paid for
I'm
that.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to everybody. 6ix9ine did not tell on them dudes. Them dudes told on 6ix9ine, and then he broke. So we gonna
That
call
is true.
him a snitch. We gotta call all of them. They don't like
All
to
of
call
them.
the tough. They don't like to call the tough gangsters snitches. They like
Hmm.
to call a
No,
dude who they know they can beat his ass a snitch. No, 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 no. All y'all snitches, bro. Cause
Yeah.
y'all told on him first. Let's
Mm.
be honest.
Oh shit. And
Y'all
on
told on
that
that's
him
note,
first.
shit, I think we out this motherfucker. Good night,
aloha,
everybody.
motherfuckers.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget
Y'all
to
Bye.
like
like.
and subscribe. Like and subscribe, man.
Thank you. And follow and
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 share.
share,
follow.
bitches.
That's it.